and choosing the strategy that fits your goals. Let's see what's possible with the equity in your home. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, this is David Ernest with Ernest Financial. And just like Ernest Financial makes lots of money for our clients, Blue Water has helped us make lots of money for our company. You cannot go wrong with advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Good afternoon. Welcome into the program. We will definitely get to Operation Epic Fury. It currently stands for American Servicemen Dead. Video making the rounds of the pilots that had to eject after friendly fire by the Kuwaitis. I think it looked like a female pilot being met on the beach by some locals saying, "You're safe, you're safe." And, of course, all the geopolitical angles. Of course, this morning I was praying, along with others, that this war will lead to a lasting peace. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star. Son of the dawn, you've been cast down to the earth. You who once laid low the nations. Isaiah 14:12. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Matthew 5:44. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright morning star. Revelation 22:16. For too many years, I would rise in the morning only to have daydreams of laying low all the nations of the earth. Mushroom clouds would obscure my eyes. Peering into the small screen in my hand, I would too often fix my eye on a world torn to tatters, only to tear myself in two and fall into despair. For every friend, I would find tenfold enemies. For every hope, there would be 100-fold discouragements. For every love, I would stumble over 1,000-fold hatreds. For every faith, I would hear 1,000,000-fold doubts. Many a morning on that small screen, I would watch a proud and wicked world tear itself apart, and as I accused the world of wickedness, it would scar and scatter to pieces any peace in my heart. That's when, returning pride for pride and evil for evil, I would ponder an unholy prayer while judging the world worthless and lost. And I would look to a rebellious morning star to fall from heaven like lightning on all our heads. It was a pretty awful way to start a day. So I began retreating from the world of the small screen and changed up my morning routine. I tried to ignore and numb myself to it. I tried food, drugs, drink, sex, silly talk, and the laughter of a cynical dog. When those began to taking their toll, I tried a whole slew of stoic meditations and medications and self-improvement programs to build muscle and mind. Yet, for each step forward with my diversions and regimens, I would eventually tumble 3 steps back. The world on the small screen would inevitably catch my sight, and the visions of destruction would return with my pride and again cloud my eyes. Yet now I see what a fool I was, choosing the way of death. Running from wickedness, I ran down a wicked way. The fallen world cannot be ignored or conquered by selfish indifference or silly games. Only by embracing the way of life has my vision started to change. The world on my small screen is no less mad. Just look around today. No less tattered and torn. Perhaps it is more mad than ever before. Indeed, when I peer into my small screen, I see discord and disbelief growing by the day. I still see war and rumors of war. I still see a march towards futility and decay. I still see proud indictments served on behalf of the split brain, desperate and depraved. I still see a widow mocked, orphans forgotten, and twisted excuses to uproot the fruit of a woman's womb. I still see science pretending to prove that man should do whatever he wills and live as the animals do. The spirit of our age is undoubtedly that of the accuser and the scatterer, an age possessed and obsessed like Saul with divination, destruction, and control, as hatred of enemies and love of self continues increasing 1,000,000,000-fold. Yet despite this suffering and sin I see on the small screen in my hand, my sight is no longer obscured by visions of destruction laying waste all the land. The clouds in my eyes have been broken by a light that died in darkness only to rise higher and burn brighter than the sun. And though the darkness remains before the final dawn, the light to the world has already won. What changed? Well, once again, I changed my morning routine. Particularly, I no longer rise to immediately unfurl the scroll of the small screen. Before the sun rises, I pray to the bright morning star. I pray for those I love and for those troubled souls on the small screen who once left my heart in pieces, broken and scarred. What if we prayed for our enemies and our persecutors every morning? What if we prayed for those who hate us and slander our friends? What if instead of returning pride for pride and evil for evil, we prayed the scatterbrained and depraved may be made whole again? What if we prayed for those so discouraged that they would deny the miracle of a daughter or a son? What if we prayed for those who would accuse a widow out of mere suspicion, or for those who excuse their desires by what the animals have done? What if we pray for those we consider evil, fools, or worse? What if we prayed that they may come to know the Redeemer of the world and shuffle off the yoke of their curse? The wicked game the devil plays is to pretend he is the morning star most high, that his legions will forever torment the world, and that the best a man can hope for is to see his enemies, himself, and the world die. But the true morning star most high teaches us neither indifference nor despair, but to love and pray for all, even our enemies caught in the devil's snares. Else we may be snared, an enemy to ourselves and God, unaware. And I especially pray that, again, this war that is broken out will lead to a lasting peace. There is a time for war, don't get me wrong. I'm not of the mind that we can pray away the discord of the world, but I think when we do that, it'll keep us from falling into that sin and those things that trouble us so much and distract us, I think, what actually matters at the end of the day. And I want to turn to the President of the United States. He has just done a ceremony at the White House and giving out the Congressional Medal of Honor to some service members who have died, giving it to their sons and their loved ones, and some living and proudly having it pinned around their neck. But before he actually got into the ceremony, of course, Operation Epic Fury was on the top of his mind, and this is continuing apace. I mean, we're past 36 hours. We're getting into 48 hours. sooner rather than later. 4 service members are dead, and I would say pray for those lost souls, especially their family members. We're still waiting. I imagine they're not releasing names because of a notification to the families period. And many of Alabama's lawmakers, in fact, all of them that I've seen on Twitter, raising up the family as those fallen in prayer. This is the nature of war, though. It's not a video game. And even if it's friendly fire or it's a mistake, or, on a first wave, the Iranians got lucky. It does happen. So here's the president. Again, this was this morning before the Congressional Medal of Honor ceremony, giving an update on, the war with Iran.
Let me provide a brief update on Operation Epic Fury. Today, the United States military continues to carry out large-scale combat operations in Iran to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime. Following our obliteration of Iran's nuclear program in Operation Midnight Hammer a short while ago, we warned Iran not to make any attempt to rebuild at a different location because they were unable to use the ones that we so powerfully blew up. But they ignored those warnings and refused to cease their pursuit of nuclear weapons. In addition, the regime's conventional ballistic missile program was growing rapidly and dramatically, and this posed a very clear, colossal threat to America and our forces stationed overseas. The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases, both local and overseas, and would soon have had missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America. The purpose of this fast-growing missile program was to shield their nuclear weapon development and make it extraordinarily difficult for anyone to stop them from making these highly forbidden by us nuclear weapons. We were the ones that were complaining. We were the ones that wanted it stopped. But everybody was behind us. They just didn't have the courage to say so. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat to the Middle East, but also to the American people. Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat. I was very proud to have knocked out the Iran nuclear deal by President Barack Hussein Obama. That was a horrible, horrible, dangerous document. They would have had nuclear weapons 3 years ago, and they would have used them. But I'll not let that happen.
Now, the president did continue there at this particular ceremony with that update, laying out, because there are many concerned about a forever war, another endless war. Now, I will say that just a conventional, standard wisdom, and we will be talking to Troy Kirko in a second, but standard wisdom is the enemy always gets a vote. Now, how powerful is this enemy's vote compared to the might of not only the United States Armed Forces, Israeli Armed Forces, and because of their stupid counterattacks, almost every Gulf Arab regime, if not every single one in the entire region, is now essentially Iran, by these attacks on civilian infrastructure, has created a Gulf NATO, and they are not playing anymore. Add to that Pakistan and Saudi were already ready to go with the Taliban, so it's not a great day for Islamic extremists. But here is the president laying out the rest of the objectives, saying essentially we have a clear mission. We have clear goals. You had Secretary of War, fitting, they changed the name from Secretary of Defense to Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, saying this is not what my generation went through with Iraq. Again, we do have clear objectives. We are nation destroyers, not nation builders. It's not like, we're the Brits. They couldn't even, pacify Afghanistan, let alone the Soviets and Alexander the Great. But how many times has a ruler of Persia fallen? And before I play this clip by Trump, it is quite funny that Trump's like, I killed him before he killed me. The Ayatollah is dead. Now here's the president again this morning.
For almost 47 years, this regime has been attacking the United States and killing Americans. Every time you see someone with missing arms and legs, or a face that's been absolutely shattered violently. It was almost certainly caused by an Iran roadside bomb. They were put there by General Soleimani, who was the father of the roadside bomb. Very proudly, he thought, but I terminated him in my first term. This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime. And they are indeed sick and sinister. Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis, and their capacity to produce brand new ones, and pretty good ones they make. Second, we're annihilating their navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's number one sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon, never going to have a nuclear weapon. I said that from the beginning. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. They were on the road to getting one legitimately through a deal that was signed foolishly by our country. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders. And we thought we had a deal, but then they backed out. And they came back, and we thought we had a deal, and they backed out. I said, you can't deal with these people. You got to do it the right way. Today, we grieve for the 4 heroic American service members who have been killed in action and send our love and support to their families. In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is.
The president in other settings earlier than this ceremony saying that they will avenge the American lives lost in Operation Epic Fury. You also have the president telling Jake Tapper, we haven't even started hitting them hard yet. Iranian people should stay inside. Images from all over the world of expats, Iranian Persians, celebrating in the streets. I saw one, I believe, out of the UK of the Israeli flag, the American flag, and the Persian flag being waved, and they're all doing the Trump dance to the YMCA. You see some images from inside the country, people celebrating right after the Ayatollah was announced dead. You heard people screaming at the top of their lungs, screams of joy in many ways, though also you're seeing a massive pro-government rally that's been ongoing the last few hours, chanting death to America. So, again, the time will only tell in this regard. Lindsey Graham, by the way, vowing after Iran. Oh, after Iran. Cuba's next. I'm insatiable. I love women, but I love seeing war. Yeah, okay, calm down, Lindsey. I saw him, biting his lip and stuff at the State of the Union. I'm like, down, boy, down.
It's not just about sex.
No, it's about war. But, yeah, maybe Cuba is next after this. I don't think Cuba is going to be requiring as many sorties and as many assets here in the world. And, of course, it is a massive reality check to a lot of the, Canada is not going to be part of the U.S. Security umbrella, or the Europeans are going to do their own thing over Greenland. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You don't have any close to the capabilities currently going on, let alone, capabilities, capacity, let alone the willingness to actually see things through. And for better or for worse, and I say that on purpose, for better or for worse, Donald John Trump has the willingness to back up what he says. Well, I have a heart for those who say, well, this could be a big old mess. Yeah, I agree. It very much could be. And also the president not ruling out bringing American troops on the ground. I assume always that there are already special operators and people on the ground anyway. But just setting the table for today, Jared Hudson, candidate for United States Senate, former Navy SEAL, he'll be joining us a little after the 1 o'clock hour begins, joining us over the stream and in studio with me. You heard him a little bit earlier today. Troy Carrico, who was texting me all sorts of memes and stuff. And I mean, I sent you back, not necessarily endorsing all the messaging, but did you see like this one called Anime Psyop is like documenting all this?
I thought that was great. I said there's so much out there. If that one was original, that was good.
Yeah, and they're going to make a full-length film out of it.
I figured that we'd have a follow-up to it. So yeah.
Yeah, like World War III is what they're calling it. And folks, it's great. It's like anime Trump, like
it's crazy.
Send it all. Yeah. So
it's good. It's good. It's worth your time.
So, what do you think of this initial strike? Like, first off, Trump saying earlier today that our timetable was 4 weeks to get rid of the leadership, and it took like it took what, 30 minutes, an hour?
Yeah.
Like, and apparently the Israelis and the CIA were able to find this, and like, we got to move now. Instead of striking at night, let's move now because of this operative intel.
So what I think is what you're witnessing is a premeditated, planned event. This was already in the works months ago. It had been decided, it had been rehearsed, it had been war gamed, it had been vetted between the Israelis, and each of them had specific targets to hit. They were, if you remember on Friday before we left, I said something's going to happen in the next 72 hours, and it sure did. And here's what I think. This is just another step in the cog of reshaping the world order for America because it was neglected for so long, Joey. Mm-hmm. You're right. Cuba will fall, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be of their own decision. They're going to come into the fold, and it's about time we do that. But about Iran, over 48 critical nodes were hit in less than 15 minutes, and almost 24 people that were high-value targets were killed. I can't even tell you. That's a precision of unimaginable consequence. And what I think you're seeing is they have a plan in place to disrupt China, Russia, and the whole acting of this whole axis of what is it called, the BRICS and all this. Mm-hmm. This is a shot across the bow. It's another one to go. We took out Maduro. We took out the Ayatollah. Little Rocket Man, you may be next. Better toe the line.
Yeah, that's a whole other nut.
That's a whole other nut, ain't it?
Yeah, because the amount of artillery alone, let alone actually advanced missiles pointing from South Korea towards North Korea and vice versa, is pretty unreal. But I think you're right about this. This is reshaping.
That's what this is.
So many things, and as Russia remains bogged down, and I think China, as much as I think they do have capabilities, I think a full-on war with China would be real dumb for all sorts of reasons. But
disasters.
I don't think the Chinese are quite as confident as they need to be to actually do a military action against Taiwan for all their advancements.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that in the mindset of Xi and the Chinese Communist Party, I feel like, based upon what I'm seeing, two things. Number one, I kind of threw a wild card out today, but I have talked to some people at certain agencies that are analysts, and there's a school of thought developing that China's not going to go to Taiwan.
Right.
China's going to go to Siberia.
Oh, interesting. Like Kamchatka, like you're playing Risk?
Yeah, just like Risk. Yeah. You know, how important is that? That's
very
you want that
important.
one, right?
It's a nice chokehold.
Fresh water, resources, for rare earth minerals, plenty of fuel. It makes more sense for them to do that. And they have laid claim to that in the past, off and on, in different epochs. And I hear that the Russian intelligence service has been tracking it. They're worried about it.
Who knows? Right?
I'm just saying, so I'm not too worried about it. But I would say this to you. If China is going to act, it has a closing window of opportunity as it shrinks, because right now we're economically starting to strangle, just like Japan and the Dutch East Indies in World War II, cutting off that oil supply to that Asian nation. So.
Now, when looking just at Iran, I guess it's not like, to me, it's not like the Bolsheviks take over the capital and all of a sudden you run everything. I'd imagine this is going to be a city-by-city thing that the locals will have to do, and some cities will be more pro-old regime, Ayatollah, and other places will be more, let's do something new. And I do have to wonder, like, do the Iranian people have the will to actually make this happen at this point. This is their biggest, as the president said on the night this was launched, this is your only chance for probably for generations.
You're absolutely right. The question is, do they have the means and the wherewithal to do it? And I think that you're going to see a lot of regional kind of government and it's if you look at the diversity of the country, it's a roadmap to tell you it's going to be kind of a nut roll. But I would say this:
Right.
I think that the people are tired of a minority theocracy ruling them with an iron fist, and anything's going to be better, I would argue, than what they have. But we know that may not be true. So
Well, and as like this happens all the time, it's not just losing grip of, say, your security capabilities, like say your willingness to kill and your ability to kill. It's also how much people are scared of you. You lose that deterrence as, say, that strong iron-fisted minority. And so if one city falls, another city falls. Like say in Tehran, pockets of the city start to fall, like where they aren't. Like people could start setting up their own security checkpoints.
Sure.
It won't happen overnight. And, my one worry is that this does spill over into other parts of the region, especially we've always brought up the Kurdish element. It's dynamics to this, but it does make sense that the president and the Secretary of War are focusing on, no, here's our clear objectives, in particular, take out their missile capabilities, nuclear capabilities, take out their Navy. I wonder if the Iranians even had a chance to put mines there in the Strait of Hormuz.
I think we were tracking and monitoring everything. We knew what was going on. We knew their every move. It's the information intelligence dominance space is so exponentially greater than any of our adversaries that it's very, very it's a harbinger of what the future looks like. If we get the AI going and stuff, this could be game over for a lot of would-be usurpers. So
272-9228 if you want to get on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Real quick, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro, Ashley and that fantastic team, ready to help you out. And as it's starting to heat up outside, you're seeing the wasp come alive, ants will come alive, mosquitoes will come out,
everything.
And you need to get that inspection done for termites.
Man, you better, because this is what it's going. The wet weather will drive them into
wet weather, and then it gets warm, and it's like, ooh, they love it.
It's too late then. It's too late.
They love it. So get in touch with Pest Pro. Get on their monthly subscription model. You can get their basic package, add to that termite inspection, year-round protection, mosquito treatment when the time is right, when you just can't stand it and you actually want to enjoy your front porch or your backyard or just all of your property. And the way you can get in touch is 265-9990. Now, you can always learn more at ppsriverengine.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, but call them direct at 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell them Troy and Joey, those fellows on the radio, sent you. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Mr. Clark. It's Clark Garrett.
Hey, Clark, how are you?
I'm all good. So, you mentioned seeing the videos of people celebrating. It looks like to me cities all over the world. Just joyful celebrations that regime is on the verge of falling or has fallen. So, here's the thing. 20 years ago, our State Department, tried to export democracy or whatever it was they were trying to export to Iraq and to Afghanistan, and that did not work out very well. Apparently, you can export that, but it looks like to me, and I don't know if there's been some AI to increase the numbers of people or what, but you just go into whatever search engine you want, videos of Iranians or Persians celebrating. That's thousands upon thousands. There might be millions there. That's a lot of people. If a significant number of them return home, maybe a better form of government gets imported.
That's possible, and I think there are a lot of people, a lot of martyrs were made for those that want to get rid of this theocracy in the last few months. So, and there's resolve there. My sense is it will be. I wouldn't want to be in Iran right now. What a bloody mess it will probably be before we get a finalized thing.
Where they're having pro-government demonstrations, reckon what the consequences of not going to the demonstration are right now.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Incredible
Reckon
pressure.
Beaten with a stick or hung or thrown off a roof or what?
Clark, you make a good point, and I want to stop you for a second. You did it. You're spot on about an observation you made. There was a time when Americana was exportable. That's how the wall fell. McDonald's, MTV, Levi Jeans, people saw freedom and they wanted it. But then we forced all the other crap down their throat. And I was there. I know. I was in the provincial reconstruction teams in Afghanistan, Iraq. We're trying to teach them diversity. Women now have suffrage. These are tribal areas that are not interested in democracy, cannot institute it. So you're spot on. You're very observant as a citizen to say, that was not the right approach. And you're spot on. I just wanted to tell you that.
Yeah, I was there at a different time. Well, different place, different time. But anyway, so one other thing that occurs, and I lost my train of thought. I'll get it back in just a second. Maybe I won't.
Okay.
We were talking about the pressure of the protests, and then you were transitioning. Maybe when I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I should have taken a note because it's just completely gone now. I guess I'm getting old.
All good. We got another call anyway. I appreciate you, Clark.
Thanks, Clark.
Take care.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey Clark. This is Clint.
Hey, Clint. How are you?
Been a long time. So.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So the president, a good move on his part. Is about time. So, kudos to the President Trump. So,
amen.
I served in Saudi and then went to Kuwait. We run out Saddam, in Desert Storm. And the Kuwaitis are good people.
They are.
Good people. They were happy to see us.
Yes, they were.
And the Iranians, they're happy too. So.
Thank you, Clint.
Thank you for your service, brother.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good day.
You too. Yeah, he's told many a story.
Yeah, I've heard him. He's a good one. He's one of the good. Yeah, I haven't heard him in a while. I'm glad he called in.
No, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. He doesn't necessarily look. His voice doesn't suggest what he actually looks like. And I like what he looks like. It's kind of fun.
Oh, good.
But, I'll just leave that as a surprise. Maybe you'll meet Clint in person.
I would love to do that, yeah.
Well, we got to hit this break. Y'all stay tuned.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey, we are on location broadcasting live today at Riverside Chevrolet, Highway 231 in Wetumpka. Tell you what, if you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, they've got plenty to choose from. You can come on by and check out the new models. And even more importantly, we're here for our Warm Hearts for Seniors Supply Drive, collecting supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium. We're talking about things like bands, meal replacement shakes, exercise stretch bands, stress balls, blankets, much more, all for seniors this week. We're paying it forward, and you can help out at our sponsor locations where the big blue barrels are displayed, and they'll be here all this week, all next week. Tomorrow we'll be at Corky's Custom Homes, Highway 31 South in Prattville. You can get all the info on our sponsors and how you can pay it forward on our Blue Water Broadcasting Facebook page. We're collecting supplies here at Riverside Chevrolet today. JT for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Real Estate Minute. Many of the real estate laws have changed recently, and you need to know how this might affect you as a seller or a buyer. As an agent of the seller, the agent owes undivided loyalty and full confidentiality to the seller. The listing agent can recommend repair services and vendors, pricing guidelines, tips to help get your house in selling shape, and negotiate offers and counteroffers for your benefit. A facilitator, which is the new term, cannot suggest a price or counter or recommend anything. They offer very limited services. A buyer buyer agent solely represents a buyer's interest and can recommend mortgage lenders, down payment alternatives, and can suggest an offer price and write an offer. Whether you are selling or buying, you need someone in your corner that's trained to represent their clients. After training over 15,000 agents throughout the state and help create and close thousands of home sales over 4 decades, get the straight information from Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883.
Hey, we are on location broadcasting live today at Riverside Chevrolet, Highway 231 in Wetumpka. Tell you what, if you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, they've got plenty to choose from. You can come on by and check out the new models. And even more importantly, we're here for our Warm Hearts for Senior Supply Drive, collecting supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium. We're talking about things like fans, meal replacement shakes, exercise stretch bands, stress balls, blankets, much more, all for seniors this week. We're paying it forward, and you can help out at our sponsor locations where the big blue barrels are displayed, and they'll be here all this week, all next week. Tomorrow, we'll be at Corky's Custom Homes, Highway 31 South in Prattville. You can get all the info on our sponsors and how you can pay it forward on our Blue Water Broadcasting Facebook page. We're collecting supplies here at Riverside Chevrolet today. JT for Blue Water Broadcasting.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of the good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It is the second day of March, but it's more like the second day of April, really, with some very warm temperatures in our future. Mostly sunny today and tomorrow with a high temperature both days in the upper 70s. Still dry with lots of sun on Wednesday with a high temperature at or above 80. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Thursday and Friday, with highs by then in the low to mid 80s and mid 80s on Saturday with more storms. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Central Command saying U.S. bases under constant fire. A lot of top Iranian leaders have been killed. Though I honestly, I couldn't do the cable news. The night this was announced, I turned it on. I'm like, I knew that. Like, who's this action figure they got up there to talk about? Like, come on, man. Anyway,
Morgan Murphy was on Newsmax the other day.
Morgan's great.
He was telling the truth. He was blasting the Democrats for their pussification.
Well, one thing that's crazy, I always bring up AI, is somebody took all open sourced information and was able to do essentially a real-time 3D rendering of the operation.
It's real. It's
kind of incredible to watch it all unfold from, say, that, looking down on the Earth point of view, like you're 10,000 feet at least, and seeing all the different assets and like, man, I do not have that mind of like the people that actually have to set up the logistics for these sorts of operations. My goodness.
You know what they say? They say that amateurs talk strategy and tactics, experts talk logistics.
And it's because it's boring.
But it's the most necessary piece of the fight.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. It's boring. It's tedious, but it's like it's the glue that takes all that high-minded stuff and actually puts it on the ground and makes it work. And of course, friendly fire. Kuwait mistakenly shot down three $31 million U.S. fighter jets.
F-15s.
All crew did safely eject. And there is a video already on X of local Kuwaitis walking up to a pilot who looks like a woman. Yeah, female pilot.
Female type. Yeah.
And they're like, you're safe. Are you okay? And she's smiling. She's like, yeah, I'm okay.
You know what's crazy about that is Pete Hegseth in his press conference with Raising Cane said, the fog of war. And let me explain to your listeners what the fog of war is. The fog of war is when you're in that fight, that knife fight or that gun fight, and what you're doing, your left and right becomes blurry and things become blurry. And all you know is what's right in front of you and you're in the fight. Shoot, move, communicate on the ground, same thing in the air. They were flying in what they thought was a safe space, and they just get zapped by Patriots. Right. And it's like, friendly fire is not friendly. And fratricide is what friendly fire is technically called. Fratricide, there's an estimate, conservative, Joey, that it accounts for about 25% of our
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. No, and I think, like, people always talk about the great success, like Clint, served in Desert Storm, but I think there were
many
because of many fratricides.
In my division, in the 3rd Infantry Division alone, there was 3 tanks and 2 Bradleys hit by our own guys. So
yeah, and again, 4 Americans confirmed dead in these operations. All of the Alabama delegation I'm seeing online lifting up those families in prayer. And again, I will continue to pray that the outcome of this war will be an enduring peace. May God have it happen. But you never know what the next step is going to be. I think in these moments, I'll just put it to you this way, Troy. Right when a war breaks out, there's, of course, the gadflies and the naysayers. And, I was part of that crew for a while with it's World War III all over again. And I love the, fun kind of, World War III sort of thing. But, like, if you're actually serious about that and every little operation's going to be this tripwire, no, not necessarily. But there's also this like gung-ho, bombs away, and don't you ever suggest, like, of course everything's going to be great. Everything's going to work out.
It's not all ass-kicking violence, Joey.
Right. No, and it's just, that's in part why I'm having a little trouble with the cable news. Like, I listened to Hegseth and Raising Cane. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Kane. And General Kane, of course, in a sober way, just breaking down the operation, thought that was compelling. But, some of the online flame wars going back and forth about stuff, I don't need to see it. And, again, a lot of this stuff it's like you got to give it time. Like, I have a rule with, when you see a shooting here, like a mass shooting domestically, give it a day or two. Yes. Because often the information that is flowing out of the fog of war is just not accurate. And then add to that in war, the truth must be defended by a bodyguard of lies.
The first casualty of war is truth.
So there's going to be a lot of stuff being spun up and sent out there in every which way. And especially when you go to X and the internet, you find like the bots from all over the world and different interests. And it is hard to know what to believe with your own eyes, too, in this era of AI. With like celebrations in the streets or even like missile launches. Apparently there have been a boatload of fake videos because they're pretty easy to fake.
They are.
So who knows what is actually going to happen. But, when I said earlier the enemy gets a vote, I always think of the massive success of Operation Overlord, of D-Day, and then the Allies lose 70,000, 80,000 men in the hedgerows.
Yeah, they got bogged down over there.
And, they just hadn't planned for that. And, this is the reality. And then, amazing things done, like retrofitting Abrams to get through them and all sorts of things.
Shermans?
Yeah.
You mean Shermans, not Abrams.
They weren't Abrams tanks at that point?
If they had Abrams back then, that war would have ended.
Those initial tanks were Shermans?
They were Shermans. The ones that you're talking about, the Hedgerow Busters?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about the Sherman is that was our main battle tank. It was lighter, not as armored, not as upgunned as the Panzers and that, but like Stalin said, quantity has a quality all their own. And we just kept pumping them out. And they would team up and they would do kill shots. But this is a funny story. Rommel, when he first fought the Americans outside of El Alamein, we got our butts kicked badly by the German Africa Panzer Corps. And he was very down about it, and he was talking with some of his leaders and his officers, and they said, we kicked America. They're nobody. We'll get them. He goes, you don't understand. He said, we lost 6 tanks. Okay, they lost 20, but they have another 50 coming from the port coming in. We can't sustain this fight like that, and that's what's neat about this.
Right, and
no history.
But we're also entering into an era where referencing World War II is kind of like referencing the Civil War as you're getting through the hedgerows.
It is.
Like it's become like further and further back
It's
in
so
the
different.
rearview mirror, and the nature of the technology these days, absolutely crazy.
I would say that you're correct, but remember this: the principles and the fundamentals of war have never changed since the day that men were using sticks. It's the objective, but it's the platforms and techniques and tactics and procedures that are used. So we still can learn a lot, but it doesn't always apply, because I would argue the real thing that you don't see right now is the one you need to be worried about is what's called hybrid irregular warfare. We call it asymmetric warfare. The Russians call it hybrid. There is right now, like you said, bots. There's active disinformation. There's misinformation. And that's very real. So.
Before we hit this break, here is the Secretary of War, Hegseth, part of this press briefing this morning.
Great to you, the Joint Force, our warriors on the front lines. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979, and since the rudderless wars of hubris my generation, our generation, endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our Commander-in-Chief is steady at the wheel. We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we're tired, if we're scared, or if the fight feels big. It demands warriors who rise anyway. Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, lethality, unity of purpose, those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear the uniform, that uniform. You think clearly under fire, you act decisively in chaos, you uphold the Constitution, and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors, trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Be the force you swore an oath to be, focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable. We will finish this on America First conditions of President Trump's choosing. Nobody else's, as it should be. And know this above all, President Trump and I have your back, always. Through fire, through criticism, through fake news, through everything. We unleash you because you are the best, most powerful, most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen. May Almighty God watch over you, and his providential arms of protection extend over you. Godspeed, warriors, and keep going.
And I'll say, and maybe it's just, it being Lent and my mind is in this place, but it's when we are most proud of our excellence and our abilities that we should humble ourselves before God. That's when the big mistake happens. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Join us tomorrow from noon to 1 at Corky's Homes at 1691 South Memorial Drive in Prattville for our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive. Drop off much needed supplies to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. Talk to Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today?
Have a good Monday, Joey. How are you and Troy?
Oh, we're doing quite well. So we've been covering all sorts of angles of this, but we've yet to really touch on the economic impact. How are markets reacting? My general sense is they don't like war very much.
Yeah. Sad reality is there's always a market for some type of, conflict. And when you have war, particularly, what I would call, this is blunt. This is, we're actually firing missiles and people are, in the thick of it. It's brutal what's going on right now. This is a brutal type of war. But when you have this type, particularly located in the Middle East, energy prices are up. Crude oil is up pretty significantly across the board. All major players in the region are selling barrels at an increased cost because of the difficulty of transporting them, pulling them out of the ground, all of that. And then also defense stocks are just ripping higher right now. Just a couple of the ones that I've been looking at today. Lockheed Martin, it's up, but heck, in the last 6 months, it's up nearly 50%. Raytheon is up 30%. Northrop Grumman is up 25%. And that's kind of what you see in times of war is the cost of energy is higher and then defense spending goes up. So it's no surprise there. I do think kind of the next step is you would see a flight to safety, which would be Treasury. So you maybe get to see some Treasury yields come down as people kind of fly away from riskier assets into more conservative assets. But it's kind of the tip of the iceberg. All this stuff is coming at us pretty quick. And so just a quick call is if you're out there, trying to follow this and make a quick buck, I'd bet my bottom dollar on defense and energy for now. And let's just see how long this conflict lasts before we start making prolonged calls on market direction.
Well, and real quick, let's tell folks about Invista Advisors and how they can get in touch with you. If this is maybe like, man, I actually need some folks who know what they're doing helping me out with my stuff.
Yeah, so we like to think we know what we're doing here, and it doesn't always revolve around war, and, really it always revolves around planning for us. And so regardless of the situation going on in the world or even in your local community, you need a plan, whether that be for retirement or putting kids through college or taking care of aging parents or buying or selling a business. Anyone that I come across in the community, I always tell, if you do not have a professional financial plan for the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years, you're behind the curve. You want to have a plan, and that's really what we begin with here. We'll put a plan together for you, and then we can talk about specifics on how to execute on that plan. But it's really all about planning, and that's what we specialize here at Invista Advisors.
Well, folks, y'all give them a call direct, 387-0094. And when you call them up at 387-0094, be sure to say, hey, I heard Austin Barenko on the radio with Joey Clark.
Awesome. Thank you, Joey, and you guys have a great week.
You too, Austin. Again, that's Austin Branco with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
We should have Jared Hudson, candidate for United States Senate, former Navy SEAL, joining us right after this top of the hour break.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump says U.S. military action against Iran could last a month or longer. 2 days after authorizing Epic Fury, the president said that combat operations against Iran will take some time. He spoke today at a White House Medal of Honor ceremony and said the U.S. military will do whatever is necessary to meet its objectives. Saudi Aramco has temporarily shut down its Ras Tanura oil refinery near Dammam. That's after it was targeted by Iranian drones. Saudi state television reported the decision, citing what it described as an official source and adding that there were no casualties from a fire and that the decision was precautionary in nature. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth speaking to widening concerns that U.S.-Israeli strikes at Iran could spiral into a protracted regional conflict by declaring, quote, "This is not Iraq, this is not endless." This is SRN News.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. A lot of us are thinking about taxes, home projects we've been putting off, ways to get ahead financially in 2026. Now's the perfect time to talk to my friends at Fellowship Home Loans. If you want to lower your mortgage payment, they can help you refinance. If you need access to cash for home improvements or to wipe out high-interest debt, their fixed-rate line of credit is one of the best tools out there. Fast approval, predictable rate, and flexibility to use your home's equity wisely. Remember, many people still qualify to skip their next 2 mortgage payments. Imagine starting big projects or paying down debt with 2 months of breathing room. My family and I have used Fellowship personally. I trust these guys. Take control of 2026. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G. fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE. That's 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 8193.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It is the second day of March, but it's more like the second day of April, really, with some very warm temperatures in our future. Mostly sunny today and tomorrow with a high temperature both days in the upper 70s. Still dry with lots of sun on Wednesday with a high temperature at or above 80. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Thursday and Friday, with highs by then in the low to mid 80s and mid 80s on Saturday with more storms. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Maxwell Air Force Base and Gunner Annex in Montgomery have announced all entry points now require 100% identification checks. Anyone without official base access must obtain a valid visitor pass and have an approved sponsor prior to entry until further notice. Shots fired on Atlanta Highway led to a brief police pursuit Sunday morning. MPD responded to the 3400 block of Atlanta Highway just after midnight in reference to shots fired. Officers then attempted to make a traffic stop on a vehicle possibly involved in the shooting. The driver refused to stop. A pursuit ensued, but officers lost contact with the vehicle. 2 people are dead following a shooting Sunday evening in Montgomery. MPD responded to the 2400 block of Chase Park Drive just before 7 p.m. where a man was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. A woman was taken to an area hospital where she later died from gunshot injuries. Investigators believe the incident to be domestic related. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
If you're on a budget and trying to feed your family inexpensively, Pizza Perfect has the deal for you. In March, get a free 2-topping medium pizza with the purchase of any large pizza. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink, only $13. Buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Available for pickup and delivery as well. 2-topping medium pizza free with the purchase of any large pizza in March at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is a Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Second hour of the program here. And as promised, joining the program now, we have candidate for United States Senate, Jared Hudson. Jared, how are you today, kind sir?
What's up, Big Sexy? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Well, first, your just reaction to the decision to commence his operation, Epic Fury.
Yeah, so I mean, number one, I'm always apprehensive as a guy who's actually fought war, been to war, anytime that we are looking at a big move like this. So don't get me wrong when I say that this is a good thing. I'm always apprehensive of it because it's always somebody else's blood that's on the line. I didn't go on a deployment where we didn't lose buddies, and we've already lost 3 Americans that we know of in the attack on the base in Kuwait. And then 5 were injured severely. So there's always a cost. Then you also had the blue on blue where they shot down our own fighter jets. You know, from what I understand, the pilots are okay from that. And these are the sort of things that happen in war. Tecumseh Sherman said, war is hell. And that is one thing that we need to remember. So it's always tongue in cheek when I say this. But the fact of the matter is if we were going to topple the regime in Iran, right, the Ayatollah, and everything that they stand for, which is actually against what the majority of the population of Iran stands for. You know, 100 million people, it's a little bit less than that. 80 million of them are anti-Ayatollah, and you see them celebrating now. You know, you see that it's one of the largest countries in the world that has the most oppressed people. So with that being said, if there was ever a time, now was the time. They acted on it. Obviously, a joint strike with U.S. and Israeli partners. They acted on it. And the most important piece is that they killed the Ayatollah. Had we not been able to confirm the death of the Ayatollah and then a long list of the leaders, there's still some left, but a long list of those who would stand up in his place, I think we would be having a different conversation right now. But the simple fact that it was a very strategic strike that killed the Ayatollah is of the utmost importance. And the initiative is ours, which is great because it saves money and lives.
Yeah, and I really appreciate your first, disclaimer there about those who've already lost their lives and the costs of war. And I see the entire Alabama delegation lifting up those families in prayer, and I think we all should. And you know that better than I, kind sir. So I appreciate that. What do you say to those? Because I was playing earlier, Secretary of War Hegseth, and was about to play the vice president, who are concerned with, oh, no, another forever war. I didn't vote for this. I voted for a president to end wars. Do you see this possibly ever playing out like Iraq, or maybe have we learned our lesson despite even these strikes?
Well, one, I mean, obviously can't tell the future, and I hope, wholeheartedly that it doesn't play out like GWOT, the Global War on Terror. And right now, with an administration that we have, I don't believe it will, because we see what they've done to Maduro, which is actually kind of setting up for what we were able to do in Iran, because we saw the response of China in the process. We now see a little bit of the response of China and Russia. They're kind of like, we're going to sit back and let the U.S. and Israel, do their work while they say, hold my beer, sort of thing. So it's one of those deals where, because of where we're at in the world, we are showing real strength. And I talked about it early on in my campaign. We have peace through strength. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to get in a fight in the process. But that means when it comes time for a fight, you drop the hammer and you absolutely crush everybody that needs to be crushed and protect those that need to be protected. And it seems to me that that's what this administration is doing. And it's incumbent on us to elect good officials who are going to codify these sort of moves so that we can not be in forever wars like we saw the war that I fought in, global war on terror, right? Whether it's Afghanistan, Iraq, Yemen. And I think part of that is making sure that we elect people that are not neocons. I don't believe that President Trump's a neocon. He's just a guy who wants to bring American greatness back, American sovereignty back. And you do that in other places around the world by partnering with our trusted allies like Israel, like the Israelis, in a joint strike like this that protects American initiatives, American people overseas, and ultimately the sovereignty of our nation.
Again, folks, we're talking with Jared Hudson. He is running for the United States Senate. Real quick, if folks want to help out your campaign in some way, how can they do so?
Yeah, go to HudsonForAlabama.com. Check us out and like, share, and follow. And we need all the support we can get on May 19th. Get out and vote if we've won you over. I don't know if if we got to cut to another thing or if we got a minute. I did want to share one thing about the president's powers.
Sure. Yeah, I was about to ask about Congress's role in all this.
Yeah, so that was something, and even Rick Burgess asked me this morning on his show when I was talking. It's already been outlined, right? Congress has the power to declare war. That is outlined in the U.S. Constitution. Was in 1787, and it still is, with the exception of in 1973, the War Powers Act. They kind of added some limitations to what the president can do, and this is an important thing to note. With all of the Dems screaming to the top of their lungs, or even some of the Republicans saying, hey, this isn't what's supposed to happen. It was put in place that president can unilaterally go and do some things like strategic strikes, like what we've seen happen in Iran, what we saw happen in Venezuela, which is a little bit different, and even what we saw happen in Iran last year, which kind of set the precedent for what we're doing now, because now Iran doesn't have the ability to strike with a nuclear weapon to any of our allies or us. So the president was able to go in under the premise that, hey, within 48 hours, you're going to let Congress know what you're doing. All right. Well, that happened in like 6 hours. Everybody and their mom knew that what was going on. Right. And then you have 60 days. The president has 60 days. There's no boots on the ground. There's no major movements other than strategic airstrikes partnered with other partner forces, in particular the Israelis, who are running espionage projects inside of Iran as we speak. I think that we're going to see the answer to this within 60 days. So he's met all the standard that he was supposed to meet. He hasn't done anything that he can't do. But here's the other thing. Congress cries and barks, hey, he needs to come and talk to us about this, right? Well, the biggest problem is that Congress has more leaks than a Chinese submarine. And it's not that they're going to pick up the phone and call the Ayatollah. It's not nefarious in nature. What do? They sell access all the time. They go in the media and they talk about what's going on. So as soon as the president would have said something, hey, this is what we're doing, can y'all vote on this? The Ayatollah would have been gone, and we would have lost all the initiative, which was to kill the supreme leader of Iran. And so I think that that's important to understand, is that, guess what? They might be willing to talk to you a little bit more from the executive branch if they weren't so worried about our legislative branch singing like a canary to the media every time a camera gets turned on.
Here.
It puts our American lives at risk and at danger if we're going to move forward with an operation of this magnitude.
Now, what message do you think this sends? The Russians, the Ruskies are one thing, but especially to the Chinese.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the biggest message it sends is, hey, we're not joking around. I mean, it's not a bunch of hot air. It's not symbolism without substance. This is what we said. You didn't meet the standard of that timeline. We said we're supporting our Middle Eastern partners in Israel, the Saudis, in Qatar, Kuwait, where all of our bases are. We circled up the wagons and we went over and we started hammering the supreme leader of a country who was running tyrannical roughshod over his people. We said, come to the table, make a deal. They didn't want to do it. Roger that. Here's the consequences. So I think all countries see that. They saw it with Maduro, right? You saw Maduro laughing and making fun back in December. Well, he ain't laughing now that he got snatched in the middle of the night. I can tell you who definitely ain't laughing now, the Ayatollah. Why? Because he's gone, right? And so as you look at this, the other players in the world, the big players, Russia's, the China's of the world, are looking and saying, all right, roger that. America's getting back to where it needs to be. Because it's not political in nature, that's the other thing. It's not being turned into something that's strictly politics. It's like, this is trying to gain peace through strength. And part of showing strength is sometimes knuckling up and giving them the right hand of fellowship, which is what we did.
Here. Now, just to handicap the campaign a little bit, not to give away, show all your hand or cards, but is the name of the game here to, like, get in a runoff? Is it to win this thing outright with the first primary vote? But, I mean, how do you feel things are going right now?
Well, one, things are going great for us. We're doing great with where we're at, where we're going, especially me being just some regular guy from North Jefferson, Alabama. So, one, it's going great for us. But number two, yeah, you want to win it outright. And so the goal is to win it outright. I'm not running the race just to almost make it, right? We're running the race to win this thing outright. Statistically speaking, with the people that are in this primary race, it's probably going to be a runoff. And it's probably going to be a runoff between me and one other person, the way we're looking at it right now. And if we get to the runoff, it's lights out from there, and we'll hands down crush it on a runoff. But the goal is to win it outright by May 19th.
I hear you, and I think everybody in this would love to do that. But I think it's anybody's game. Whoever gets into the runoff, it will be anybody's game at that point, say endorsements and other things aside.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. And it's almost like endorsements don't even matter in Alabama. They almost hurt most of the time. That's what Bob Riley used to do. He used to endorse his opponents because he was one of the most liked governors, but his endorsements never worked.
Well, I always appreciate your time, Jared. And if you're ever in the Montgomery area, always welcome here in the studio. It's kind of a garage at this point, but
bro, would love to come and see you in the studio. We'll try to get that set up with the team.
All right. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, brother.
Again, folks, Jared Hudson, always appreciate his time, and the campaign continues, folks. And one thing I did notice that I haven't touched on yet in all this is the internet always wins for all the seriousness of it. And again, folks, I would remind you, lift up, especially the families of the fallen, those wounded, in prayer, and continue to pray for our troops, and pray that we as a nation, especially when we feel really good about our capabilities and proud of what we can do, we need to humble ourselves before God. That all said, the internet always wins to one way or the other. I don't know, Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. I don't know if you saw, Troy, the one tweet where it's like, hey, Donald Trump, I don't know if you can hear me, but my mother-in-law is on the verge of getting nukes.
I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a few like that in that theme of Minnesota's on the verge of getting nukes.
Yeah, I did see something on it.
Another person said, I've begun my investigative reporting career, and they had sent a DM to the Ayatollah's account on X saying, you dead, bro? And so again, the things that are being spun up with AI and so many other things, it's a surreal way to watch a war in many ways. But the fighting will continue. Hopefully this is done very much short of 60 days. I
think it's going to be a lot. I honestly believe that in the next 72 to 96 hours, so by the towards the end of this week, we're going to see definitive fractures within the regime, because my understanding is they're already target decking and taking out the second and third tier people. And question is, when will the people feel safe? I mean, think about this. Anywhere from 30 to 50,000 people were killed for this already. So you got to wonder how many people are really able to move forward and move the ball forward, Right. So, yeah.
Well, we'll see. But how about this? Let's hit a quick break, reset things. We'll be right back after this, folks.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Join Blue Water Broadcasting for Warm Hearts for Seniors. We're teaming up to collect badly needed supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, serving seniors and disabled adults across Autauga, Elmore, and Montgomery counties. Drop off items like cleaning supplies, blankets, fans, meal replacement shakes, stretch bands, and stress balls at Piggly Wiggly, 701 East Main Street in Prattville, serving friends and neighbors in our community. Catch us live on location from March 2nd through March 13th. Let's show the River region what warm hearts can do. Visit us at bluewaterbroadcasting.com and help us make a difference today.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Yeah, we were just talking off air about this Senate race after having Jared on, and I think the front runner right now, because of that Trump endorsement, is Barry Moore. And also, Barry's just a heck of a campaigner. He's always been kind of underestimated. He overperforms. But I'd stand by what I just told Jared, is like, I think even with that endorsement of Trump and Barry's skill, whoever gets in the runoff, I think, with Barry, I'm saying he's in that runoff. I don't know if it's Steve Marshall. I don't know if it's Jared Hudson. I really liked talking to Rodney Walker last week, but to me, it's not a given of who Barry wins a runoff necessarily.
Well, I agree. I think that, man, it's just, listen, the preponderance of the evidence tells us if you've got the Club for Growth, you've got the president, you're a sitting incumbent congressman, it would take a Herculean effort to unseat that. But, I'm not saying that it can't happen. It's not likely to happen, in my opinion. But let's be honest, why Barry's in the front, his wife she's a slave driver.
What?
His wife she is a battle axe.
Yeah, she's great.
I love her.
Battle axe is a good term for her. Yeah.
She tells him what to do and when to do it. You will win. You will come home a victor or come home on your shield.
What, have you met her, Heather?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's great.
She's lovely. Yeah.
She's a handful. I'll leave it at that. And she's not very big. She's like a little gremlin.
No, I think that's actually an apt observation.
A gremlin is a very good. Don't feed him after dark.
So we'll see it play out. And, of course, all of the candidates are welcome. I think the only person we haven't talked to is Steve Marshall.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And I don't know what's happening necessarily Morgan Murphy. I know he'll land on his feet somewhere.
He's in a holding pattern per the forces that are out there that telling him what to do. So you will be hearing from him, I think. So.
Now, I just want to cover this because I ran across this on Friday evening before I even saw the war had broken out and stuff. And it's just an aspect of science that makes me think about the religious.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of the science of fetal microchimerism? Microchimerism.
Chimerism?
Yeah.
Like a chimera? Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Fetal microchimerism.
Well, I'm just doing some roots. So we got fetus involved and we got micro, and then chimera means to mirror or something. So I guess it's some sort of research.
Yeah. Fetal cells carrying the child's own DNA cross into the mother's bloodstream during pregnancy and never fully leave.
Really?
They embed into her organs, her heart muscle, her brain tissue.
I'll be darned.
Researchers have found a child's living cells inside mothers in their 90s.
That's amazing.
From pregnancies from 6 decades old.
That's amazing. Yeah.
The child left the womb. The cells didn't. And they don't just sit there, by the way. They migrate towards damage.
Really?
Women with heart injuries show fetal cells concentrated at the womb site. Women with thyroid disease show their children's cells inside the affected tissue. The body that built the child gets tended to in return by the child's own cells.
That's crazy.
Nobody designed this consciously.
That's crazy.
Well, there might be somebody upstairs who actually designed
this
it
was by design.
more consciously than anybody's ever been conscious. But they're claiming, well, if you look at evolution, it quietly built this repair system out of the mother-child bond.
Sure.
But the more I think about also the time frame, is it really random selection when you look at the complexity of what DNA is? When I see DNA, I'm like, okay, that's either God straight up or
that's God code.
Or you can do the simulation, but I think the simulation theory goes back to God as well. There's too much complexity at bottom for it to just be time and chance. Anyway, the body that built the child, again, gets tended to in return by the child's own cells. The brain side of this is equally staggering. Pregnancy triggers gray matter reorganization, a structural rewiring that sharpens threat detection, deepens empathy, fundamentally alters how a mother processes the world. These changes persist for years after birth, possibly permanently.
That's amazing.
A mother's nervous system doesn't return to its factory settings. It was updated by the experience of carrying another person, and that update sticks. The part worth sitting with longest. Women who experience pregnancy loss carry fetal cells too.
Wow.
The cellular merging doesn't require a birth. It doesn't require years of raising someone. Those cells remain regardless of what happened after. A mother grieving a child she never brought home is grieving someone biologically still present inside her. The world consistently underestimates that grief. The science says we have no business doing that, underestimating it. Mothers always knew the connection they didn't end at birth. Turns out it doesn't end at the cellular level either. And I just thought that's
powerful. That's very powerful.
Yes, astounding.
But doesn't that just reconfirm or reaffirm our faith in what we believe and that there is divine power in
Amen.
this world. And I mean, let's be honest. You know what they say about a mom's intuition, right? Now you know. I mean, you're tied to it still.
Right.
Ain't that something? That's very uplifting. I like that.
Anyway, I
What
love it
abortion?
when.
I just thought of something weird.
Yeah.
So if you have an abortion, you still have that. Man,
Yes.
that is a spiritual
Yes.
conundrum, man.
I was letting.
It just dawned on me. I'm thinking of the good things, and I'm thinking, oh boy,
That's what I was.
That guilt.
I'm guilty. That's what I was shooting for.
Yeah, you got
for
it,
people
brother.
to put two and two together.
I got that. I did. I just hit me. Yep.
The consequences. You can think it's who's it affecting?
Much deeper than you think.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we got to hit another break.
Powerful.
First, though, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage.
Yeah.
And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage.
Kim,
Madeline Cannon.
Madeline.
Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon. They can help you out whether you're looking to buy a home or refinance that home. And, of course, you can't control interest rates or housing inventory or what the national news decides to panic about in any given week. Iran!
Yeah, right.
But here's what you can control. You can control your own timing. You decide when it's the right time to buy, and when it makes sense to refinance. And real estate decisions are not paint by number. They are not one size fits all. So you might be looking for money. Well, homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity. It could be right under your own roof with a great refinance deal. Also, a lot of veterans who think, the VA system's broken. Yeah, parts of it, but not the VA mortgage.
No, not that.
It remains one of the strongest home financing options available, offering benefits like no down payment purchases, wow, and 100% cash out refinances. Again, wow. Veterans, you're leaving money on the table if you haven't taken advantage of this. And so if you are thinking about, buying a place or refinancing that place, don't fall victim to flashy mailers and spam calls, 1-800-lenders, those fly-by-night internet companies or the national internet companies. When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters, and local makes all the difference. And of course, they've been helping folks for a long, long time there at Alabama Home Mortgage take advantage of, when the time is right. And they can have that fit to you deal at the end of the process. And of course, it's not just Alabama they serve. They also serve Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. So y'all check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. That number 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online. They'll immediately get in touch with you at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that. Because each year, thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the river region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. We're home to 7 radio stations at a rapidly expanding digital marketing platform, and we're looking for our next great sales professional. At Blue Water, you'll build customized campaigns that include radio and targeted digital marketing solutions. You'll prospect new clients, manage your own accounts, and work in a fast-paced, creative environment. Media or digital sales experience is a plus. Send your resume to jobs@bluewaterbroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Go to work for a family that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders is looking for experienced dump truck drivers. Call them today, 855-777-9785. Drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines and be part of the family.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It is the second day of March, but it's more like the second day of April, really, with some very warm temperatures in our future. Mostly sunny today and tomorrow with a high temperature both days in the upper 70s. Still dry with lots of sun on Wednesday with a high temperature at or above 80. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Thursday and Friday, with highs by then in the low to mid 80s and mid 80s on Saturday with more storms. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And quick follow-up from last week.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's wall-to-wall coverage of the Iran stuff. We don't have like a whole newsroom and sources all over the world and stuff. And like we've been talking about this. I'm sure, or y'all been hearing people talk about this for what, 36, as long as it's been going on. So, quick follow-up from last week. You remember the Queer Animals Lab story?
Yes.
University of South Alabama now denies any association with it.
Really?
Content deleted from school website immediately after inquiry. This is April Marie Fogle there at 1819 News.
I saw that.
Yeah, but the University of South Alabama has released a statement saying that despite social media posts and resources to the contrary, there's no Queer Animals Lab. The Queer Research Lab was promoted by the Comparative Cognition and Communication Lab. The C3PO Lab is a program of the University of South Alabama's Department of Psychology. The school says that despite the lab's branding on many posts and on a resource document, it was instead the personal account of Dr. Heidi Lynn, the lab's main researcher. Lynn operates several personal social media accounts that were not branded with the lab logo. Her use of the term Queer Animals Lab was inaccurate and meant to capture the attention of the viewers of her personal social media, the statement from a university spokesman explained. Lynn's personal Facebook page is littered with anti-ICE, no kings, and anti-Trump posts, while her personal Instagram page shows her dressed as a book ban fairy and various Star Wars characters. Dr. Lynn has received no state or federal funding for any research in queer animals and has not conducted any such research in any form, the school said, despite numerous posts related to queer animals on the C3PO Labs page. Her personal social media presentation of queer animal information is not based on any University of South Alabama research conducted by her or anyone else, the university went on in a statement. Several posts, including one published after the 1890 news story, included the lab's logo as a watermark. Nice. The new post read, turns out that when deep-sea squid can't see who they're mating with, they don't really care if it's male or female. Indiscriminate sex for the win.
Wow.
You know what was going on a little earlier? Yeah, the animals do it. Just do what you want.
What's her name again?
Heidi Lynn.
I'm looking her up right now.
And it's only one N.
Is she like Jabba the Hutt looking when she dresses up playing cosplay, or is she more like
not quite
Princess
Jabba.
Leia?
It's more like
Greedo. She looks like Greedo.
Well, it's multicolored hair.
Oh, goodness. Hey,
yeah.
This is bad press. You know, didn't we have a little incident with the net guy? The professor of...
and
they're not looking good down there.
And the university had to come out and make a statement on that as well. But following the publication of the 1819 news story about the Queer Animals Lab, the CP30, excuse me.
3PO.
Instagram page. I'm sorry, my dyslexia. Removed the link to contribute to the lab through the university website, the school's address. It left the C3PO.
Yep.
Lab Queer Animals Resource Guide, which as of Sunday afternoon is still online. 1819 News alerted the school that the sites were still online, referencing the USA-affiliated lab, and within an hour they were taken offline. The lab's website and all social media accounts weren't the only things removed. References to the lab on the school's website were also deleted. Dr. Lynn should not have connected her personal social media to the University of South Alabama. Dr. Lynn's opinions and videos posted on social media are statements of personal advocacy that do not reflect the position of the university. We have taken steps to correct this by having Dr. Lynn rework her personal social media and remove connections to USA. The statement sent by the school on Friday said the original 1819 news story included erroneous assertions. 1819 News responded to the school, noting that the school had not requested any corrections or offered any clarifications, but asked the school to note them for the editor's consideration. The school has not responded to that request.
She's a gem. I'm telling you, she's available. She's available.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Be
no,
good for
thank you.
You can maybe change her.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'll pray for her.
You know, someone would have changed men from drinking. You could change her from being
My goodness gracious. It's just...
Listen,
I think, what's going on here? Like, before we go on to the other South Alabama story, like, do you think she just kind of was ruling the roost and they weren't even paying attention?
I have a feeling that let's be honest, she's talking about biology, but she's a psychology professor. Mm-hmm. So she's dabbling in things that really aren't. Mm-hmm. She made a statement on, I was looking at her site, she says, let me tell you something. Monogamy is queer in the animal kingdom. But we know that birds make fly. So she's obviously...
So because the squids do it with whomever, then indiscriminate sex is cool for human beings?
Well, she ain't having any sex. I'm looking at her. She ain't getting any. Maybe she's getting some love from...
it's just like, what a shame. What a shame.
And
but
they're
that
educators. That's
you got to wonder with all these universities, like how much is being done in their name?
Yep.
Or like with a lab or a different college within the university. And they're not even paying attention to it, or because there's been no heat, they don't really care.
Here you go. You want to know what her lineage is? You know, Pennsylvania University. She's Ivy League educated, and she got her PhD at Georgia State. Someone didn't do very good on their GRE, did they, Heidi? Got to get a Georgia State
it is
for your
sad,
PhD.
by the way, when you do those graduate level tests.
Yeah.
That the lowest scoring people on those end up in the faculties of education.
Sure they do. Because there's an old saying, those who can do it, do it. Those who don't teach.
Yeah. And those who don't teach Jim.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that from School of Rock. But
I like it.
Great movie.
Let's
rock
great
today.
movie.
The Bee's Knees.
The Bee's Knees.
Now, this is another University of South Alabama story. Last week, a video of a USA math professor harassing TPUSA students went viral. Late Friday, the university issued a statement saying the incident was, quote unquote, inconsistent with our values. University officials are addressing an incident where a faculty member admitted to using profanity directed at members of a student organization. This behavior is inconsistent with our values, a spokesman said in a written statement. The University of South Alabama remains committed to fostering an environment where First Amendment rights are exercised with mutual respect, and we will have conversations consistent with these values with all of the involved parties. According to Ethan Kaiser, the president of the University of South Alabama Turning Point USA chapter, the exchange caught on camera was not the first time the Department of Mathematics and Statistics assistant professor Joshua Loy had accosted the group. It was Kaiser, seen wearing a black jacket in the video, who, knowing the camera was running, strategically asked Loy to explain how the group is fascist before noting that Loy called the members dog crap grifters, but he didn't use the crap word, just last week. Loy responded gleefully, seeking praise for those around him. That's true, I did. It was during the visit the week before that the professor approached the group, like he had seen doing in the video, and made vile comments mocking the assassination of Charlie Kirk, referring to him as the quote-unquote neck guy, while making a finger gun motion to his neck before going on to mock a young woman for being part of the organization. Kaiser stressed that the group was prepared for respectful discussions, and I don't know. I think I'm on this kick of we should pray for that man, but I have a sense that he might he might not want to hear them right in his own presence. He might recoil from the power of prayer. But but seriously, to be a grown man and go up to students and behave in that manner, there's something wrong with you, man. And I hope you fix it. I hope you find a higher power to help you fix it.
So he's no longer on the faculty staff
really?
On their website. I'm checking him out. He was yesterday, and now he's been removed. So somebody's...
Oh, I'm not against consequences, and he apparently did not respond for requests for 1819. But I mean, larger than his work he does and all this stuff, what possesses you? Not literally, but what possesses you to go and do something like that?
Demons. We've talked about this. We know the answer. Spiritual demons. These are warfare. This is warfare.
Well, not everything's demons. Like, have you listened to much of the actual exorcists that are doing the job right now?
Yeah, a lot of it is. I know that.
No, they say that often when people come, that's like, well, you probably are just psychologically disturbed or it's trauma and you're just re-traumatized and these stuff. Then they say there are actual incidents of like people climbing on walls and levitating and doing all sorts of stuff. But the idea is don't freak out at it. And so I don't know. Maybe somebody is fully given over, but I see this more as a guy who is in his own siloed world, his own perspective, and he feels empowered to go and belittle those who might be seeking a conversation on campus. And it is interesting how if you go to these universities in particular, even in Alabama, there are a lot of folks, say, on the left who think it's their own little enclave and they can get away with whatever. No, not anymore. When the people of Alabama, even folks that might be Democrats, they might be libs at heart, and that God love them, there's going to be the vast majority of Alabamians are going to be like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Bless your heart, literally.
Bless your little heart.
So it's not been a great week for
I've had a bad week.
University of South Alabama, but you can see them responding quickly, saying, "Hey, we're sorry, we're sorry."
I see that, but I would also say you say that we don't have to about exorcism. I would like to get him to go. May the power of Christ compel you,
right,
and slap him right in the chest.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
I want to thank all of you specifically for helping me think more and be clear in my thinking, because the information station and elucidation helps me so much. I remember things, important things. Like this man, he needs to have a meeting on the road to Damascus to meet somebody named Ananias. The name I couldn't remember last night. I was trying to remember. Who was it that Saul of Tarsus, with his army from the temple, chasing Yeshua's followers, told, you can meet in Damascus. I have somebody. And he told Ananias ahead of time with an angel, I'm sending you the bad guy, Saul, the persecutor.
He's going to be blind, so help him out. Yeah.
This is how I am happy that anything happens to me that gets me closer, thinking better about what's most important, because when Paul got his vision back, it struck him who he had met was not an angel, but that was the Word himself in his true light form. Ananias, he was just a guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope everybody should have an epiphany when you realize what you're supposed to be doing, not persecuting people. No, don't persecute people, but pray for your enemies. And that confuses people. It's like, why do I want to pray for my enemy? Why do I want to love my enemy? Because by doing so, you overwhelm them with goodness. It blows them away. They can't handle you being so nice and good to them, and it freaks them out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
maybe they go away and think about it for a little while, and they come back and not be what's the word there? The word about being the rejecting of the Lord. You don't reject the Lord. But you guys, thank you so much for helping me think. It really is very important.
Appreciate you, Crawdad.
Thank you.
272-9228. Got to hit another quick break here. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years. I would try drugstore insoles and supports.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, we know the search for pain relief can feel like a hopeless ordeal.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections. I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
At the Good Feet store, we hear stories every day of all kinds of cheap inserts, expensive shoes, and other failed remedies people have tried that just didn't work.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked. And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I'm so glad I met Good Feet. That changed my life.
Don't lose hope. Give the Good Feet store a try.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, life is very good. What's the score there today at Cohen's?
Like 28 to zip. We had a great weekend here. Had a customer I had to order a TV for. They came in and bought the biggest, baddest Sony 85-inch.
Nice.
So, anyway, it's an incredible TV, but it is one that we were out of stock on. And that should be in this week. We'll get that installed for them. It's going on a nice bracket with a Sonos sound bar.
Ooh.
So, Michael Jackson had his hands full because on the big Sony TVs, like the big Samsung TVs, you know, all 85-inch TVs don't weigh the same. And the big boys, it's like they put concrete blocks on them. So, anyway, he'll have his work cut out for him.
And for folks who haven't had that experience, like, he can hide wires and stuff, too. So it's like maybe you have it high up on the wall. It's not like you got all these exposed wires dangling.
Right. These people are getting the power kit, and they're getting everything so that we can have everything hidden inside the wall. They're going to be streaming. Of course, we'll have some Eros on the truck just in case he needs to augment his Wi-Fi in his home. But typically, I guess we're really blessed with Michael Jackson because he can explain everything to the customer to where everybody understands. what's going on and if they need to add something or if they've got everything is good. So he just wants to get in there and make everything as painless as possible and make it so that there's no calls afterward because he didn't do something he was supposed to do or explain something in a fuller detail. He wants to get it all done right the first time so that everything is good in the future.
Yeah, folks, with spring upon us, spring for a brand new TV, or you can always go for like a new fridge, washer, dryer units. They got it all there at Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. And you can always shop online at thinkcohens.com, but nothing like actually stopping by at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. And, of course, they're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with Joey and Quiet Troy.
And Quiet Troy.
Well,
he's researching something.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to find out where Eddie's at. I'm sorry, Michael. I can't keep up with him.
Didn't they open up a new Hooters in Prattville?
Yes, I think they did. He's probably cutting the ribbon there.
He probably is. But those things make everybody happier.
Well,
oh yeah. You like it? Y'all like their breaded wings?
I love their shrimp. I love their wings. Period. But
yeah, that's why we go with the food.
My heart hurts so good when I eat them. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. You just keep on paying for it.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Well, appreciate you, Michael.
Have a great day.
You too, sir.
Come see us and let us help you make the right choice on whatever your needs are, appliances or electronics. And have a great day.
Yes, sir. You too.
Talk to you again here soon in the week. So, anything breaking with
I'm
Iran
looking over
conflict?
here. I'm looking over here. Iran is their rate of launching is dropping now.
Yeah, I'd expect that.
Yeah, I do too.
Because when you think about this, they do have a lot of under mountain bunkers where they're hiding all over the frickin' country. These launcher systems.
They do.
So the idea is you take out you might have said this earlier, but you take out the archer, not the arrows.
That's right. That's exactly what you try to do. And what they also are doing is they've done a very good job of EW, which is electronic warfare, with preemptive scrambling and jet. So the problem with some of these ballistic missiles, as we see, there's something called a probability of error, which is a circumference which each weapon's rated off of how accurate it is. Some of those ballistic missiles can vary quite a bit. So yeah.
Well, and thank God that hypersonics are not cheap to make, because even with you see the ones Iran has. Like the hypersonics,
they're fast.
They're unreal,
They really
especially
are.
when you see them like from the ground being filmed landing.
Think about though the power of being able to intercept those hypersonics, which we've proven we can with older technology. The THAAD definitely can, and the Patriot does on a 80% basis. Think about the mathematics involved in that.
Right.
Just trying to calculate.
And
that,
then
bro.
on the naval front, he said they've sunk 10 ships, I guess, the Iranian boats. Yeah,
They're
so
small.
that's not including, I wonder how many of the fast boats, like the little boats they've taken out.
Well, what they did is those fast boats are holed up in a cavern. They keep them in a natural kind of cavern. I heard that the Israelis knocked out that hole, just crumbled it in, so they can't get the boats out.
And there was a report that the Lincoln was hit.
No, that was
just
garbage.
propaganda and garbage.
That was garbage. Now, did you see the what was it called? The sea. There was a shadow fleet Iranian sanctioned oil freighter.
Yeah.
They hit it. They hit their own boat.
Oh no!
And sunk it.
Oh no!
Yeah, that sucks.
Fog of war.
Should have turned your GPS transponder on, shouldn't you?
Yeah, and again, I don't have any question about the capabilities of United States Armed Forces, Israeli Armed Forces. Again, Iran being desperate, hitting every Arab state that was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Do you think that's a sign, though, of them being that it's the end of the road?
Confused,
we're just going to hit everybody.
Yes. Now they can cause a lot of damage, and there's going to be a lot of strife, especially in certain parts of that country for a while.
Oh, absolutely,
no doubt about that. But
you know what they said? They said they were trying to walk back the fact that they hit the Gulf, their brothers in the Gulf, saying, well, the problem is that they decimated our command, control, and intelligence, and so we have rogue actors all throughout the. Aren't you all rogues?
Yeah, you hit like places like Qatar had been purposely acting neutral.
Oman too.
Yeah. They're like, what did we do? Hey,
what the hell is that for?
Like, we knew Saudi and them didn't like each other. We knew a few of these places didn't like each other, but the folks that even were playing the Switzerland of the Middle East got hit by this stuff.
I mean,
so what a mess. And it is affecting. It will affect the economy for a little while, especially oil prices. Sure. But final hour coming up here. Y'all stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump says U.S. military action against Iran could last a month or longer. He spoke out today publicly for the first time since the attacks got underway over the weekend. Saudi Aramco has temporarily shut down its Ras Tanura oil refinery near Dammam after it was targeted by Iranian drones. Saudi state television reported the decision, citing what it described as an official source, adding that there were no casualties from a fire and that its decision was precautionary in nature. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, speaking to widening concerns that the U.S.-Israel strikes on Iran could spiral into a protracted regional conflict by saying, quote, "This is not Iraq. This is not endless." On Wall Street, the market seemed to be taking the war in stride for the most part. The Dow is back into positive territory, up by 52 points. This is SRN News.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Micro's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today! Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words switch today in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. It is the second day of March, but it's more like the second day of April, really, with some very warm temperatures in our future. Mostly sunny today and tomorrow with a high temperature both days in the upper 70s. Still dry with lots of sun on Wednesday with a high temperature at or above 80. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Thursday and Friday, with highs by then in the low to mid 80s and mid 80s on Saturday with more storms. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
A state lawmaker is offering legislation that seeks to decrease the number of police chases that are occurring with people trying to elude authorities. State Senator Lance Bell wants to increase the penalties for those who engage in this behavior by making it a Class D felony. Bell spoke about the need to do something in order to slow down the increase in these flights from authorities. He spoke about it on the Jeff Poor Show on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile.
The quicker you take them out, the quicker you may save someone else's life.
This is public safety, right? Because they're going to blow through a red light or they're going to whatever go, we've seen the car chases.
It's dangerous for everybody, and they're running for a reason.
How often does that happen?
Along the I-20 corridor?
Yeah.
More than you realize.
I bet.
I would say 3 or 4 times a week. Just
that's
in my
a
area.
lot more than I would have thought.
Yes.
I would have said 3 or 4 times a month. Or
no. I would say 3 to 4 times a week, and it's stolen vehicles. We get a lot of hits out of Georgia.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
Prosecutors in Mobile are changing a legal filing in the case of 3 members of a family who disappeared in January of this year from their home in Theodore. The state prosecutors have arrested 1 man in this case and charged him with kidnapping the Chalk family. That suspect apparently gave false information about himself when he was charged. The suspect's name has been determined to be Hector Argueta Guerra, not Juan Carlos. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
When your tax refund comes, put it on the floor and walk on it. Revitalize the look and feel of your home with new floors from Prattville Carpet. With faster and better service than the big box stores and luxury vinyl planks starting as low as $4.99 per square foot. You'll enjoy that tax refund turned flooring every single day.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Dial 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Join us tomorrow from noon to 1 at Corky's Homes at 1691 South Memorial Drive in Prattville for our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive. Drop off much needed supplies to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And joining us on the phone here, we have Chris. Hey, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Chris.
I was going to make a point that, you know, the one thing I think that's the reason the markets are a little bit calmer and all this stuff, especially with this huge move in the Middle East, and it dates back to Trump's first term, is that the Abraham Accords.
Yep.
And he's and just listening to some people talk about the relationships, him and I'm not a big fan of the Kushner guy, but the relationships he built within the Muslim world over there, or the Islamic world over there, has really, I think, is really paying off dividends for the peace we're seeing in the Middle East as far as after us attacking Iran. And so I think long term, and I think, like I said, the stock market and all that, I think it's seeing that too, the reactions by Iran just lashing out and hitting 5-star hotels and acting like a bunch of fools. I think it shows that they're desperate, and I believe that probably that regime was pretty close to maybe falling anyways. So that was my comment about the Abraham Accords. I believe just that move that he made in his first term has paid so many dividends in the Middle East that we don't really know.
You're right, and let me share something with you that I think you're astute enough to figure out. The Arabs respond to strength, okay? And that's what Trump represents with his choice of emissaries. They respect that because they respect them compared to the contemporaries such as Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Okay, and so it does matter. And you're right. You're spot on. There is that Abraham Accord laid the foundation for a unified Arab world against Persia, against Iran and their proxies. So yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah, it's. I just hope it all works out. No boots on the ground and all that kind of stuff for this country. I mean, if it's all works out like it had. I mean, look at Venezuela. Went in and took out the president of Venezuela, and that's kind of like back news. I mean, No, not even on the front page.
Yep.
I mean, we took out a leader of a country, and it's like, okay, what's next?
No, and who knows? This could be wrapped up before Easter.
I think so.
I mean, at least a U.S. involvement in it.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I still think that that Trump has a time machine, but that's
who knows.
But does he have Tesla's death ray? Does he have Tesla's death ray? Is what I'm
right. Yeah, that's right. All that Tesla stuff,
oh man,
and all that.
I know.
I mean, it gets you can dig into a deep rabbit hole about that.
Yeah, you could.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you. Again, 272-9228. I don't know if you're ready to do it, but you want to share that thing you penned?
I can. Yeah, let me pull it up here. I had it right up. Let's see. Where are we at? There we are.
And so you're laying out you're giving official voice to your own. It's almost a bit of a manifesto.
It is a manifesto because as I was working on my Machiavellian pieces and my Pax Americana pieces, I realized something in my Robin's reading it, and she's like, she goes, you're giving us piecemeal pieces to something that's a doctrine, she said, because she kind of got into reading about Machiavelli and what is the grand chess game and all this, and so she's like, you need to codify what you have been saying and put it into words. So let's see, I have it right here. Where is it at? I had it sent to you, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. I was looking at Annie just wrote. So, all right, here we go. There we are. All right. So this is written from a perspective that I know you know Shakespeare, but I'm using it to try to illuminate that conflict as the one thing we can always count on, Joey, in life. How do we deal with that conflict, both personally and as a nation? So this is an extrapolation, and yes, it's hawkish, very hawkish, but I think we're seeing, Joey, the proof in the pudding right now that, like Clark, or the caller before just said, hey, they're getting things done because they've been putting effort into it, and this is kind of what this says. So to be or not to be, conflict is a certainty, and danger abounds all around us. In the shadowed trenches of life's battlefield where the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune rain down like enemy fire, my foundational world construct took shape. 5+ years of combat tours as a U.S. Army infantry officer in Southwest Asia, followed by years as a DIA counterintelligence officer on clandestine assignments across the globe, forged a single, unshakable, undeniable truth. Not a theory, rather a law. A doctrine born from the empirical grind of kinetic operations and the ever-present proximity of death. I call it the Carrico Doctrine. Its core principle is simple. Ass-kicking violence, your favorite topic with me, and I know I'm one-trick pony. No, not really. On the objective solves the problem. Not indiscriminate violence, not rage, not targeted, but targeted, decisive, overwhelming force applied at the exact point of friction. When words fail, when threats multiply, when hesitation invites catastrophe, AKV ends the chaos. Shakespeare's Hamlet, in his famous Act 3, Scene 1 soliloquy, becomes an unlikely but perfect ally in this philosophy. Hamlet wrestles with the nobility of suffering, the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrongs, the proud man's contempt, the law's delay, the insolence of office. It mirrors our world. Bureaucrats stalling in endless debates, aggressors exploiting vulnerabilities, despots eroding liberties, while citizens grunt and sweat under a weary life. But then Hamlet pivots. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer or to take up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. That is the Carrico Doctrine distilled. Don't wallow, don't endure, don't wait for rescue, take up arms, obliterate the objective, and neutralize the threat. My combat tours taught me this with brutal clarity. Hesitation means casualties. In DI operations, spooky covert missions and insertions, high-stakes intelligence missions, volatile regions demanded that there was no room for philosophical dithering. You acted with determination, precision, and force, or you were made irrelevant. Hamlet captures the temptation to delay, to die, to sleep, no more. But he falters at the undiscovered country, the fear of consequence. The fear puzzles that fear puzzles the will, turning resolute action into cowardice. Today's crisis, whether they be personal threats, travails, international conflicts and relations issues, all reveal the same paralysis. Take the border, for instance, a flood of illegal crossings, cartels pumping poison into American streets, trafficking networks thriving, anti-American militants exploiting the chaos. Leaders endure the whips and scorns of political pressure, terrified of a legacy damage or media backlash. The Carrico Doctrine rejects this timidity. Fortify the border with unyielding force. Dismantle cartels through targeted operations. Halt the surge. Negotiation is a fantasy, and appeasement only emboldens. Decisive action in the form of AKV is the remedy. Or consider rogue regimes like Iran and China. They wield power with brazen insolence while we respond with half measures, toothless resolutions, sanctions, and sternly worded statements. Hamlet would recognize this as the same cowardice that keeps him from striking the usurper Claudius. My DI missions were not about crafting diplomatic niceties. They were about neutralizing threats before they materialized. Critics argue that violence begets violence. We talked about this earlier, Joey. Mm-hmm. My experience proves just the opposite. Strategic AKV restores stability. In combat zones, decisive force ends firefights. In intelligence operations, it prevents escalation. In geopolitical arenas, it deters aggression. Delay invites challenges. Complacency kills. And indecisiveness is what breeds disaster. Essentially, victory has defeated us already in the soft nature of our once warlike ways. Even in the personal arenas, the principle holds. Identify the obstacles. Find and fix the target, apply decisive force in physical, strategic, or moral conflicts, and watch troubled seas calm. Hamlet's trap is universal. Fear of repercussions, scrutiny, retaliation. But that fear prolongs suffering. Who would bear the fardels, he asked, when a direct strike could bring quietus? The Carrico Doctrine answers, no one should, and definitely not this republic. Find, fix the enemy, and unleash hell in the form of AKV. Achieve resolution, not because conflict is desirable, but because suffering thrives when action is avoided. In an exhausted air, conscious causing overthinking, second-guessing, bureaucratic paralysis, a veritable vapor lock that has made cowards of nations. Hamlet warns that thought loses the name of action. The Carrico Doctrine demands the opposite. Act before threats strengthen. My life and its many combat clandestine operations, national level intelligence work etched this ethos into law. It is time to take arms, oppose, and conquer the sea of troubles. For in that resolute blow, what dreams may come. Not the dread Hamlet feared, but triumph, security, and finality we each deserve. That is the Carrico Doctrine. Battle-born, field-tested, and Shakespeare-approved.
Again, folks, Troy Carrico, to be or not to be, and that should be at 1819 News sometime this week.
This week, yes. I think Wednesday, I think she said.
No, and actually, I generally agree with your principle that there's been a lot of dithering, especially, and I think, I'll put it this way, that when past administrations, just look at the Biden administration, does something that is dithering, that isn't quite going full bore, like and actually using American capabilities. It's almost like they've been resting on their laurels of like, well, everybody knows that we could really hit hard.
Yeah, we could
but when you don't actually do that, and especially after the Afghanistan pullout, once you lose deterrence, and actually, if, for instance, if the President of the United States voiced what you just voiced, I think there would be a lot of folks that wouldn't even think about doing what they were thinking about.
That's the thing.
Right. And so, and thus, the move, the AKV, isn't even necessary at that point.
So you know what?
It has to be a credible threat.
You're on. There's something called power game theory, which states you may be the most powerful, but you have to use it from time to time to keep credible threats down, right? We're not going to do that. We cross that line, and this is going to happen. But
no, and once you establish that, and it's not just within your own country, but you have a sort of new equilibrium worldwide, you don't have to use violence at that point. Like the strongest have other means of force.
This is true.
And
Soft
essentially just well, it's not just soft power. It's everybody knows the AKV is behind the curtain. Like if you really want to test us, you really want to try us. But I think there have been a lot of Americans, rightfully so, that were tired of seeing and maybe we'll see it play out. Let me just put it this way. You go watch the old Donald Rumsfeld press conferences right after the Operation Iraqi Freedom begins. And how, he's just the smartest guy in the room, and we're really going to do great things and all this stuff. And
he was a profiteer and an asshole. No, he was very.
I
can't say that.
Yeah, let's not.
Okay, he's a rear posterior person. Let me tell you, he was known for dressing down junior officers in front of people. He was just not a good man. Yeah.
Right. And so I think folks got used to that, though, the overconfidence, and then, this has been drawn out, this has been drawn out, this has been drawn out. And in a way, using all that force, all that military power without much result, that hurt your deterrence more than anything else.
It did. There was a diminishing return, you're right, in that. But remember what they were doing. They were there to profiteer. They needed to set up the military-industrial complex, and they did. They privatized the war, Joey, and that's what caused our ultimate failure there. But I want to say something. You made a point that's very, very, very true. As you progress and you get credibility, take a look at Venezuela. Look at what everybody else has done. Panama, we're kicking China out. We know what it worked, Joey. It worked. Come on, Mexico took out El Mencho, and they took out Latuli.
And Trump's going to get bases all over, not just Greenland, but the Arctic Circle.
That's right. Cuba's next. I'm telling you, it works. It works, and they do it with a smile on their face. So,
and the United States military, second to none.
None. Listen, I was talking with somebody about this, a guy down in Mobile that does a show called Scuttlebutt Radio, which is broadcast from the radio deck of the USS Alabama.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to be on Wednesday. It's going to be cool. Anyways, he said, how is this happening, and why is this happening? And the takeaway for me is that I just lost my train of thought, didn't I? What did you say? You said something
on the Scuttlebutt Radio.
Yeah, but before that, you said you go. I think that the change is, or you said that. We were talking about credibility. Credibility. What did Teddy Roosevelt say? Speak softly, carry a big stick, right? And so a lot of that is already played out. And I think that the bottom line here that I'm trying to get to is that China and Russia have already known that, listen, I don't know if you've heard, we have been knocking out some Russian troops in Syria. We've been killing them, some of our special operators, because they've been messing around. And I think we have credibility now with our opponents. So,
yeah, I think that's been
established.
Swiftly
Has that been established, you think?
Yeah. Swiftly established. Well, and a lot of folks say, we can wait them out. Yeah, and Kim Jong-un has probably been on the phone already. Like, are we still cool, Donnie?
Hey, Donnie, you want to come over?
We still cool? Like, you can call me fat even. Like, are we?
It ain't working. Mm-hmm. That shot ain't working. You listen, do you believe that, do you think that you can parlay, I want your opinion, because I think you can parlay that into political success in other areas?
That's the issue.
That's the problem, isn't it?
And there are a lot of people that don't care about this stuff.
No, you're right. You're right.
And what they care about is the cost of gas and food on the table. And also, sometimes it can be like you promised me this.
Yeah.
And you did the opposite, and so now I'm going to be mad at you. I think on this particular operation, though, it all comes down to practical success. And if it blows up in a way, I've seen many commentators make this point, I just think it's true. Trump has a steel spine, just brass cojones.
He does.
And so either this could blow up in his face, like say this is prolonged and it does spill out in other parts of the region and big problems. But if it actually works, like you essentially get what you got in Venezuela, that you have this new government formed and they're playing ball on many fronts, then this is probably the greatest foreign policy achievement since the end of the Cold War.
This equates the fall
That's
of the
a big if, by the way.
I know, I'm with you. And I think it is doable, and I'm going to tell you why. The economic driving force that Iran could be is going to drive people to take up this cause and get back to some normalcy. And if you solve this problem, which they're working on, 75% of the problems, not just in the Middle East, but around the world, are going to be solved. And what do you say? High risk, but high gain. And that's what's going on right now. So.
And again, CENTCOM has said 2 days ago, Iran had 11 ships, like proper ships.
Yes, they did.
In the Gulf of Oman. Today, they have zero. And 15 U.S. aircraft forced to leave bases in Spain? Huh.
Yeah, Spain is... listen, I'm sorry. Did you see Starmer say, "Oh, you guys can use Cyprus, but we just want you to know we don't support..." They got no spine. They got no spine. They got no spine, dude.
Talk about a guilt trip, the British at this point, like the constant just weighing themselves down with
That's why when we watched that AI video that you and I went back and watched it again. I still don't like it. I'll tell you why. It was very open, the way that you could construe things at the beginning and out. And I thought the British are, they just beat themselves like those pilgrims. And they have no masculinity anymore. It's just sad.
Oh, it's a shame.
Their teeth are getting better though.
But this is going to be a day-by-day thing, watching it. Trump saying operations to last 4 to 5 weeks or longer.
Yeah,
or longer. And, of course, Bibi Netanyahu making the rounds tonight. J.D. Vance also going to have to respond to that.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're an opponent of us, and let's say you're North Korea, I don't know, J.D. Vance might be worse than Trump after emboldened by all this stuff, And it's like, Yeah,
you never know, folks. You never know. 272-9228, again, if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Now, there's this interesting story, just shifting gears here.
Yes.
Another April Marie Fogle story. Alabama Education Association et al.
Yes.
The State Superintendent of Education, the 5-year fight that should have reshaped Alabama politics. Montgomery is a very different place now, writes April Marie Fogle, than when Republicans first won control of the legislature in 2010. A difference that is most evident by how the governing GOP majority has come to view the Alabama Education Association, the AEA, its political work, and the political contributions it makes from Alabama Voice of Teachers for Education, AVOTE, the organization's political action committee. In December of 2010, Governor Bob Riley called a special session in which the legislature took up 7 ethics-related bills, one of which placed strict limits on the use of money collected via payroll deductions managed by the state for public sector unions. Thanks to last month's elections, we have a historic opportunity not only to reform this corrupt political culture, but end it. The opportunity to enact real reforms has never been better, and the need has never been greater, Riley said when calling the session, according to an old WSFA story. Senate Bill 2, SB 2, was sponsored by then President Pro Tem Del Marsh, who argued that the bill was meant to safeguard state resources. We're not in the business of using taxpayer dollars and take those dues and use them for political purposes and use them to possibly affect the legislative process, Marsh told the Tuscaloosa News at the time. It is unethical for us to use taxpayer dollars for political purposes. Specifically, the new law would state that payroll deductions cannot be used for the 7 items listed in Section 1717.5. No person in the employment of the state of Alabama, a county, a city, a local board, or any other governmental agency, whether classified or unclassified, should use any state, county, city, local board, or other governmental agency funds, property, or time for any political activities. And it goes on. No person in the employment of the state of Alabama, county, city, local board, other governmental agency, may arrange by salary deduction or otherwise for any payments to a political action committee, or arrange by salary deduction or otherwise for any payments for the dues of any person so employed to a membership organization which uses any portion of the dues for political activity. For purposes of this subsection only, political activity shall be limited to all of the following: making contributions to or contracting with any entities entity which engages in any form of political communication, including communications which mention the name of a political candidate. Engaging in or paying for public opinion polling. Engaging in or paying for any form of political communication, including communications which mention, again, the name of a political candidate. Engaging in or paying for any type of political advertising in any medium. Phone calling for any political purpose. Wow. Distributing political literature of any type. Providing any type of in-kind help or support to or for a political candidate. It didn't take long for the AEA to sue to block the law's implementation, filing suit in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Alabama in February 2011. 2 days before the act was set to take effect, the court issued an injunction, finding that the act was likely overbroad in violation of the First Amendment and void for vagueness under the Due Process Clause. The state then appealed that decision to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit. In December of 2011, and it takes a long time to get through these courts.
Apparently.
A full year after the bill was passed, the 11th Circuit asked the state Supreme Court to interpret the law. The state Supreme Court would do so in October of 2013. Took another 2 years, but in the meantime, the drama continued in Alabama. In the following years, there were numerous court procedural moves and countermoves, including the AEA attempting to subpoena lawmakers, an effort blocked by the 11th Circuit. Finally, in September 2016, then Attorney General Luther Strange declared the fight over. The ruling was the final opinion in litigation that has spanned 5 years and produced 5 separate appellate opinions, the statement read. These laws shared a common theme to enhance ethics and integrity in our state government, said Strange at the time. Challenges to a majority of those laws have been brought and pursued at length, but every one of these challenges to reach final resolution has failed. The AEA learned to address one of the problems they faced in the law by removing A-vote funding from payroll deduction and instead allowing members to opt in to contribute via an automatic bank draft. That brings us to the biggest changes in the last 10 years. These have included not just the normalcy of Republican candidates accepting money from the AEA's PAC, but also brazen public acknowledgments that behind the scenes, AEA has continued to exert enough influence that they openly celebrated defeating school choice to their members. So what was tried to be done, they tried to get done in 2010.
It's amazing. Law's delay. Mm-hmm. The law's delay, Joey.
And and also the Speaker of the House ended up punished for pushing a lot of that through as well. What a mess. Yeah, it's almost like when you try to fight entrenched interests that have been there for a long, long time, they fight back.
Did you say ethics in Alabama in the same sentence?
I don't know about that. I don't even know about that.
We need some teeth.
Hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Hey, y'all, Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar over here on that beautiful Alabama River. Now, if you had never been here, I'm going to tell you it's easy to get here. To get on I-65, take the North Boulevard exit. The first exit you come to, that's Louisville Street. Turn right, and turn right. That's right. Exit at Louisville Street and turn right 3 times. Follow that to the end of the road. We're down here cooking up good old fresh seafood. Got a fryer, a steamer, and a grill so we can cook it like you like it. Also got a good ribeye, hamburger. And, we're a family restaurant, so we got a kids menu for you, too. And we also rent out pontoon boats. You can ride down here. You'll pass the RV park. We got a spot in the RV park left open for you. And let's talk about good times on the river. Besides renting a pontoon boat, we bring in fine live entertainment. This week, the Cat Riggins Band out of Miami is passing through. It's going to be a great show. Check it all out, CapitalOysterBar.com. Go to our Facebook page. You can check out some of the shows we got lined up. So don't forget, 4 o'clock showtime Sunday. Come on down here hungry. The weather's right. A good time on the river, y'all.
Join us tomorrow from noon to 1 at Corky's Homes at 1691 South Memorial Drive in Prattville for our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive. Drop off much needed supplies to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. Temperatures this week are running way ahead of the season and getting warmer. Tonight, mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature, not bad, down to about 56. Tomorrow, more sunshine with a high temperature in the upper 70s. Tomorrow will be near or above 80 on Wednesday with mostly sunny skies. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms on Thursday and Friday with highs in the low to mid 80s. And more storms with 85 on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Now, maybe there's some hope for Republicans in the midterms. We'll see what this war does. But a stunning new survey conducted by the Center for American Political Studies at, of all places, Harvard, the Harris Poll and Harris X suggests that the GOP has drawn even with the Democrats with 8 months to go until the midterm elections. A poll of just shy of 2,000 registered voters, 1,999 registered voters, was conducted online between February 25th and 26th, again, before this military action, found that 50% of Americans would vote for the Republican candidate in their congressional district, and 50% would vote for the Democratic one if the midterms were held today. That marked an enormous improvement for the GOP, which trailed Democrats 54 to 46 on the same question last month. When presented with the following hypothetical campaign message from the GOP, 54% of respondents said they found it believable. Republicans say that they are returning responsibility to government by arresting criminals, closing the borders, keeping taxes low, and lowering energy costs. We can't go back to the Democrats who are allowing our cities and way of life to be deteriorating and prices on energy and food to soar while fraud took billions and billions of dollars of their giveaway programs. Just 48% of respondents, meanwhile, said they found this hypothetical message from Democrats credible. Democrats say we are for accountability, or excuse me, Democrats say we are for affordability.
Affordability.
Free government services, free housing and transportation, health care for all, free student loans. We have the money and can provide these services if you elect us to office, and we will bring down the billionaires. Again, only 48% of respondents agreed with that. 61% of Americans, though, indicated that they would be receptive to an overtly anti-Trump message from Democrats along the lines of, suppose the Democrats say we need to stop Donald Trump. He's a runaway dictator, and we need to check on his power by returning the Congress to the Democrats. His tariffs are increasing prices, and he's off on foreign adventures. For his part, Trump's net approval rating ticked upward from -6 last month to -3. So going in the right direction. The State of the Union, it looks like, helped a little bit, but actually that's not a bad sign, given that
the economy's been kind of
the traditional wisdom is the party out of power wins the House back in the midterm.
I know.
So if it's now kind of a dead even thing going on, and again, this Americans like practicality, and like especially on the foreign policy front, if it actually works and you're not bogged down,
right,
and you don't see mayhem in the street. I mean, this. It's a roll of the dice, though. It's always is.
It is. And, as I think about what you just said, if you're sitting in a position of power like he is, you got members of your own cabinet and staff saying, hey, listen, we need to be careful about where we're treading on this. It's a tightrope. It's really freaking, and he keeps for his age, I mean, he's got cojones of brass, like you said.
And hopefully, more people start coming to their senses in general.
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, maybe.
I mean, we'll see.
Have you seen the people out there?
Yeah, no, the world is madder than ever before.
Oxygen thieves.
But here is J.D. Vance trying to walk this tightrope of, well, we promise you to end wars.
Okay.
And no more, foreign, exhausted with foreign entanglements and like all this other stuff.
Building and,
Well, here's the vice president on Meet the Press over the weekend, trying to square that circle.
I certainly empathize with Americans who are exhausted after 25 years of foreign entanglements in the Middle East. I understand the concern, but the difference is that back then we had dumb presidents, and now we have a president who actually knows how to accomplish America's national security objectives. So this is not going to be some long, drawn-out thing. We've got in. We've done the job of setting their nuclear program back. We're going to now work to permanently dismantle that nuclear program over the coming years, and that is what the president has set out to do. Simple principle. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. That has animated American policy over the past 130 days. It's going to continue to be a driving force of our policy in the Middle East for the next 3.5 years.
He said the right things.
He did. What's at the beginning there?
5 years of foreign entanglements in the Middle East. I understand the concern, but the difference is that back then we had dumb presidents, and now we have a president who actually knows how to accomplish America's national security objectives. So this is not going to be some long, drawn-out thing.
That's the line.
I love it.
It's not going to be some long, drawn-out thing.
Yeah.
And so when you say that, it better not be some long, drawn-out thing.
That's a company line, man.
That's what Hegseth also is saying. Not going to be endless.
It's the company line. It's the company line.
They better hope.
Their talking heads are telling them, listen.
Because you mentioned the fog of war earlier on the battlefield, but also at the strategic level.
Yes.
It's not going to be a long, drawn-out thing. It's not going to be another endless regime change thing.
I don't think it will be. And I have reasons why, and I can go into them in detail if you want. But my thoughts are this. This has been well executed, and you're going to see in the next 72 to 96 hours, like I said, a degradation of the amount of firing that's coming out of there and fractures all over the country and regions. So I think if I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but I think that this is going according to plan.
272-9228 if you have an opinion on this strike. And I mean, this is like all the cable news and
it's kind of oversaturation. Yeah.
Wall to wall with the stuff. B-1 bombers used in Iran strikes. Interesting.
Hey, what about the shooting in Austin and the deal with the property of Allah?
I did not go into the details of that.
So he first used a handgun at a bar. He had a shirt on, a hoodie that said "Property of Allah." He's from Senegal. naturalized citizen with mental health issues, okay, and then had an assault rifle and shot some people, but the police dispatched him.
That's unnerving, especially that's right at the heartbeat of downtown Austin.
And people go, well, this is the sleeper cells. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. No, they're not. Let me tell you something. If they could have done something and they were sleepers, they would have awoke. They're not. And I'm telling you now, that was a lone wolf. But you're going to see the press spin it that, oh, this is what's going on because of Trump's adventures overseas.
Now see Rubio on the TV taking questions. I will do as clearly as possible. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what is focused on. We're focused on doing right now, and we're doing it quite successfully. I will leave it to the Pentagon and Department of War to discuss the tactics behind and the progress being made. There is a clear objective to this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? 2 reasons why. Pick the first. It was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders have been delegated down to the field commanders, and it was automatic. And if they're going to be true, because in fact, within 1 hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. The third, the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that would precipitate a war against the American forces, and we knew that if we didn't
preempt illegal before launches attacks, and so we would have suffered higher casualties and perhaps even higher for those.
But am I hearing that right? That because Israel was attacking, we had to go full
I
bore?
think that they kind of flipped the booger on Israel, going, well, either way, they were going to attack us. I don't think that needed to be even brought up, but.
What we've been trying to do for a long time is get rid of their conventional weapons capability as a shield where they could hide behind, meaning they will come a point where they have so many conventional missiles, so many drones, and can inflict so much damage that no one can do anything about their nuclear program. That is what they were trying to do, is put themselves in a place of immunity where the damage they can inflict on the region would be so high that no one would do anything about their nuclear program or their nuclear ambitions. They are producing, the estimate's over 100 of these missiles per month. Compare that to the 6 or 7 interceptors that could be built. They could build 100 per month, not to mention the thousands of one-way attack drones that they also have. They've been doing this for a long time, and they've been doing it under sanctions. You can see the attacks they are conducting right now. They are attacking airports, hotels. They're hitting not just military bases, but attacking our embassies directly, attacking facilities that have nothing to do with war or with military. And that's a weakened Iran. That is Iran, despite years of sanctions. Imagine a year and a half from now, the capabilities they would have to inflict damage. It's unacceptable, especially in the hands of a regime that is run by radical clerics. Again, this is all from Marco Rubio happening live there on Capitol Hill after another briefing, it looks like, of members of Congress. The entire regime is led by radical clerics.
Make geopolitical decisions.
They make decisions based on their theology, and have an apocalyptic one. That is to be taken very seriously as well. So that was the purpose for what this operation is all about, what it's focused on. As the president said earlier, we're ahead of schedule, and Ruby says I'll defer to the Department of War to discuss things being made at a tactical level. But an important decision for the safety and security of the world. Well, Secretary Rubio now.
He's out there going.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, guys, I can't believe I'm on, but I'll just say Russia up there in Ukraine, I guarantee you they're blinking their eyes because they've been attacking Ukraine for 4 or 5 years and ain't got nothing done.
You ain't kidding.
But, they got nukes and all that, and they got that big chest. That's exactly what Iran wanted, was to have nukes.
You're right.
And they've been denied them, and I think Donald Trump is going to finish this damn job. And it's not for my old ass. I'm an old man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll die before any of this affects me. But it's for our kids and our future kids, because I've lived a whole life of hearing a country say death to America. And It's not the Iranian people. It's the damn people in charge. And they're being struck down.
Appreciate it, Robert.
And I haven't shed a tear for Khamenei or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Well, the Ayatollah. Appreciate you, Robert.
Man. Appreciate it, brother.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this? Hello. Anybody there? Guess not.
Maybe they get to talk to the pause.
And we got to hit a break anyway. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Behind every clean lobby, every polished boardroom, every safe, spotless workplace, there's Janie King Franchise Center who takes pride in making it happen. These are your neighbors, people who live here, work here, and care about the businesses that shape our community. They show up, they follow through, and they make sure your facility is ready for the day, every day. That's why companies across the community trust Janie King as their local cleaning partner. Visit JannieKingCleans.com today.
Janie King, the king of clean.
This is Frank Bertarelli with Zap Pest Control. We're here today to thank Blue Water Broadcasting. We're now over 31 years in business. If you don't believe in radio advertisement, give these guys a chance. You won't be disappointed. Zap Pest Control is still on the move today, thanks to the friendships we've made with Blue Water Broadcasting.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. Rubio saying he hopes the Iranian people can overthrow the regime, and this is all about the Iranian leadership that we have a problem with. Well,
it's true.
Every top official going on record. See if it works out.
We'll see.
Let's go to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray. How are you doing?
Did y'all see that clip going back around of they asked Kamala, what are you going to do about Iran? She said, don't. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
And then Trump, we're going to bomb. I don't know if we can say that word on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like her with all the immigrants. Like, what's your message to them? Do not come.
Have not seen
Do
that.
not come. And then it cuts to Trump going, I'm going to come. I'm going to come and do this and that and all that. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, or the other one where it's like January, he got somebody and like every month it's somebody else, another world leader.
Yeah.
Now, if he gets Cuba next month,
oh yeah,
it's done.
It's coming.
We're through. I mean, it's coming. Cuba, you're next, buddy.
And my favorite, and other people didn't laugh at it, Ray, is somebody tweeted out, Donald Trump, I don't know if you can hear me, but my mother-in-law's about to get nukes.
Did you see the one that it has Macron and Benjamin Netanyahu? And Benjamin Netanyahu's talking on one line and shows a picture of Macron, and he's like, hey there. He goes, I need some help from France. And it's got Macron going contemptuously like, no, we will not help you in your war. And he said, no, I just need you to tell the Iranians how to surrender.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So true. So true. Oh, well, did y'all have a good weekend?
Yeah, very good one. Hope you did too.
We did. Babysitted all day Saturday. It took all day Sunday to get over that. I'm old. And Mark was at church Sunday. We sat sitting on the back row. He said it's going to be March before he gets back into the studio.
Well, and actually, I took for my uncle's, my grandfather's youngest son's birthday, I drove Gramps up to Auburn, and we ate brunch at Acre. Ate like kings. Oh, man,
that's
good.
a good place.
That place is
I've
good.
never heard
Get
of
by
it.
there, man.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Cool.
Highly recommend. And I also highly recommend if you need flooring, call Probable Carpet, 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that pre-measurement. We got all kinds of sales. We can do anything you need to when it comes to floors, shower remodels, kitchens. So call us today, 285-8117.
Again, that number 285-8117. When you call them up, be sure to say, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on that radio show with Joey Clark and the Troy Carrico guy.
Carrico.
All right, y'all have a great day.
See you, man.
Appreciate you, Ray. Yeah, Acre's awesome.
Is it sort of? Is it like?
It's like, I think the chef won Iron Chef of America, and it's sort of like, it's fine dining, but the brunch is a little more accessible and casual.
Business casual.
But I had they only had 20 available on the menu. I had a Wagyu burger.
Oh man!
With black truffle aioli and bacon jam and pommes frites. And then dessert, they had this Biscoff cookie banana pudding.
Yeah.
Dude.
I bet that was terrible, wasn't
Oh,
it?
my goodness. I went to a food
So where's
coma.
it located at?
Just kind of a little off campus.
Okay.
Nestled into the
It's
middle
not
of
affiliated
everything.
with the hospitality
Almost think
program.
off of Gay Street or something. But Auburn's changed so much.
I know.
And gone
Listen,
vertical
it's crazy,
that
isn't it?
I
It's
don't even
crazy
know.
over there.
Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam, how you doing?
I'm glad they did. I'm glad they didn't poison you, Joey.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm doing fine. It's a beautiful day. Where to start? If we go into Cuba, the one thing that worries me, the one thing that my main concern is they may not have that Chinese radar. Okay, I love this the whole Chinese radar thing. Doggone it. I ordered Chinese radar from Temu, and they sent me a TV antenna. Some guy. I come out. No, it is bad. There was actually a point somewhere I was headed. It's gone. Anyway.
Well, we got all day tomorrow. You can call in if you remember.
Listen. Thank you for the show, guys.
Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome, brother.
Let's go to Soldier Boy. How you doing?
A.K.A. Ayatollah of rock and roller. You killed my brother.
Yeah. You approve of that, don't you? You approve of that, don't you? You approve of AKV.
Well, I look for the will now to see if I have all the money. Yes.
Yes, good.
Hey, Troy.
Yes, sir.
I'm concerned, very concerned, Troy.
About what?
When I was in the Air Force, I worked in a department called Standard and Evaluation.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
where they.
Yeah, I know what it is.
You know what that is, right?
I know what it is. Yep.
That's where. If people don't know what that is, that's where they test the pilots to make sure they're up to current. And
Standardized, making sure everybody's good to go.
Exactly. Everything's qualified and everything.
Right on.
And how did we get 3 F-15s get shot down by friendly
Oh.
fire in midair?
Well, you know what's funny is, did you see what model the one of them was? It was a C model. That's been retired. I don't know what the heck it was doing
That's
over
what I
there.
was saying. I said, that thing was so damn old.
That's what I said. It was. And then the others were 2 strikes, but Strike Eagles, which is what, the Echo? I think it's Echo. But anyways, the thing about it is, listen, you know how that happened. Listen, they're flying in above Ali Al Salim, which is right there in Kuwait City, outside Kuwait City, Joey, not thinking at all that there's going to be any. They're complacent in that, and all of a sudden they get locked in, bam, down they go. You know?
Well, and I guess it sounds like the Kuwaitis are a little like, because there had been, Iranian drones and missiles shot at
Absolutely.
them. So they're like.
The fog of war, Joey. The
Yeah.
fog of war again. So that's how that happened.
Hey, George,
Yeah.
and they're so dependent on, and they trust the Chinese radar, ground-to-air missiles in their radar, right?
Right.
I think I'm going to have to cancel my order on my Chinese home alarm system.
I would too. Listen, the Chinese can't even make a turbofan that works, for God's sake. That's why their airline industry's a mess, man. And
They can make some killer AI videos.
Yeah, they can, and they can fish some. They fish vegetable oil out of the sewers too. It's nice, Joe. You love it.
Well, you got to be able to reuse it when you got billions to feed.
Can you imagine that?
Hey, Troy, did you know the fish tilapia, right?
Yeah. What about it?
They're they're farm raised and captured or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, in
Yeah.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Okay, they're Thai fish. Okay. I watched a documentary on it one time, and there ain't no way I'm going to touch that fish ever again.
I've heard Asian fishing.
It's swimming in sewer water,
Oh man. Yeah.
dumping their raw sewage into their river system. So that fish is nothing but living in sewer water, and that's what you're eating.
And on that appetizing note, I got to run. Appreciate it, Soldier
I'll have
Boy.
some of that. That sounds good.
Well, folks, I appreciate y'all listening.
Yeah.
And I guess we got happy hour up next with the lovely and talented
I see
Pamela
that,
and
yeah.
Captain Greg Budell.
That is.
You'll always be my captain.
You'll always be your captain.
Yeah, like captain of the ship out
Yes,
happy
I know.
hour. Like I
The good
worked
ship,
with him.
The good ship lollipop. I mean, the happy hour.
I worked with him as first mate for 8 years.
I know you have.
buddy.
You guys go way back.
Anyway, y'all stay tuned. They're next.
All right.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1.